Okay, how are we doing today? How is everybody? I hope that you're doing well. Audio is all set up and good to go. Yes! What a great start. How are you doing? Bad? Oh, that's not good. No bueno. Okay, let me get my shit together, y'all. Let me get my stuff together. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hello. Welcome in. We got people hanging out in the YouTube chat. I'm going to say hello to YouTube chat first because there's not as many of you there. There's Hugh Gwilliam. Yes, says thirst, indeed. Oh, yeah, I need to grab a water before we get too far into this. I recognize this music. Cena and Poppy used for one of their shorts. Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff in the library of free music. The free music that you don't have to do attributions for. That's what we like to do. And also hello, yes. And what's up, Gremlin Lord? Just got home from work. What's up? We got Aaron in here hanging out. Finn says nice music. I'm doing a redraw of a cover that's been bothering me all day. Well, I hope that it comes to the result that you desire now that you're reworking it, right? And, of course, my Horde's over on the website chat. My dear, sweet, lovely members of the Horde on the website chat at luxander.net/live. If you're on the YouTube chat and you didn't know that I have a website, come hang out with us. Anyway, what's up? There's so many people over here today. We have Trex Dictator has been in here for a while. Winter Nightmare. We got Baphomet. Hello. We got Spider. Mama Mephistopheles. Timerinia. Hello. Solander Says. We got Solander Says in here. Fuck yeah. And we got Amy in here. Willow Oak. Baphomet says, I'm doing bad, but I'm hoping my mood will improve with the stream. You know, sometimes it do be like that. It's weird. I feel like I've been having a really difficult time wrangling myself today. But once I got myself wrangled, I was like, okay, there it is. And also I figured out why the goddamn, I have a bot that's supposed to, like a Streamlabs bot that's supposed to work in the YouTube chat. And for a while, it just wasn't working and I couldn't figure out why. Oh, is it T-Rex? Okay, T-Rex Dictator. I'm sure it would be easier if we were allowed to do characters aside from I think you can clearly do the underscore, but not a dash, I guess, possibly. Anyway. So yeah, I'm actually, in reflection, upon reflection, the more that I actually take a minute and look at how I've been doing for the past week or so, I've actually been doing pretty well. I'm on this new work schedule and it's, going pretty well. I might be able to fully keep up with my own editing and not need someone's help for that, which means that I have fewer expenses related to my channel, which is always good. Ooh, we're moving up in the world. Nikki goes, sorry, that's just my stress. Yeah, I get that totally. Oh man. I've been productive, and then I had therapy on Wednesday and she was like, kind of seems like you're not processing some emotions and stuff from stuff that happened 6 months ago. And I was like, no, I haven't. Very frustrating day. It's I'm just trying to talk in the therapy session and the crying is happening. Good Lord. Hello, Anthony. Welcome in. What are we doing today? Skinny Puppy? What is Skinny Puppy? Is that a band? Ooh, you get to go to a concert? That sounds fun. We always hang out for the first hour, by the way. I feel like we've had people come in and then leave and then come in and then leave, and there aren't very many people in here right now. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this whole thing about starting stream at 5 p.m. and see if that is going to end up working out. Seems like maybe later in the day. There's different advantages to it. I guess the earlier you start, the longer, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't really matter that much, probably. Starting between 5 and 6 p.m. probably doesn't matter that much. Mostly I started earlier because I always get tired at 9. I cannot, for the life of me, I cannot sleep in any later than 8:30, 8:45. I tried to push my sleep schedule forward. I was like, I want to try to stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning and see if I can't adjust my sleep schedule to be more 2 in the morning to 10 in the morning and just sleep for that 8-hour chunk of time. But nope. Every goddamn day, I wake up sometime between 7:45 and 8:45. And I'm just all right, I'm going to run with that now. So since I get tired at 9 p.m. and I can't stay up later, I'm just going to start stream earlier. So that's been working pretty good for me so far. Yeah, therapy was yesterday. Today's been pretty all right. I was like, okay, I'm going to do my morning routine and then get my editing done. And I've started tutoring my teenage siblings. So that's a fun thing that I've been doing. I've finally got around and organized myself enough to do that for the first time. So that was cool. Beefquake, welcome to the website. How are we doing today? Says, I can't sleep I cannot sleep in since I started on ADHD meds. I just snap awake like a fucking vampire. That might be what my issue is because, well, I don't know. I've been consistently waking up at 8:30 for, I don't know, probably close on a year now. Just like naturally, that's when I wake up. And I just assumed before that it was because there was a person who woke up, like there was a person I shared a bed with who woke up every day at like 7:30. But no, I don't have that influence right this moment, and I still wake up at 8:30 every day. So we're just rolling with it. You're one of those daytime people. How dare you? That's a moral failing. If anything, I feel like I'm going to be seen unwarranted. I'm going to be seen as having more moral virtue and like fortitude now that I'm just naturally waking up at 8:30. Like there's, as though there's something superior and like morally, like what word am I looking for? Like morally celebrated about waking up at fucking 8:30 naturally. I don't know. Anthony in the YouTube chat asks, I've heard a lot about threats of violence against gay and trans people, but what about aro ace people like myself? Is there any danger I should be aware of? I haven't seen anyone talk about it if there is. So being in queer spaces, you're going to be in danger regardless of what your actual identity is. So, you know, if you are asexual or aromantic and you go to a gay club, you are going to be at just as much risk as a gay person at that club of potentially being hate crimed, because that's just the world that we live in now. Yay, America. However, as far as targeted violence against aces and arrows, like, I don't really see very often. Okay, that might be too often. I might need to adjust the bot in the YouTube chat so that it doesn't post quite so often. Maybe increase the number of messages in between. One thing that is a risk is like sexual assault. Like sometimes in the same way that like a guy will sexually assault a lesbian because like, oh, she's just never had the right man. Sometimes that kind of thing that can happen to asexual people. For sure. But those are like the main forms of violence that I'm aware of against. It's Cloudbot that I'm trying to find. We're making adjustments. It's the first hour of stream, so sometimes I'm just gonna take some time. To fix things while we're right here. Okay, there we go. We just increased some variables so that the chat does not get gunked up with bots. There we go. Yeah, I carry pepper spray. Yeah, that is a thing that I think is a good idea to do. Most chuds tend to forget that aro and ace even exist. Yeah, I think that as an asexual person, you're probably less likely to be at risk for direct violence. Like, not direct violence. That was the wrong thing. Like, targeted violence just out and about. Like, it's more likely to be someone you know, like, rather than be, like, stranger danger. Like, someone who's visibly very queer or visibly trans could be, like, hate crimed just on the street just because. Versus, like, I think the types of violence and stuff that happen toward aro aces is, like, more like intimate partner violence. Which it does also happen to queer people, but it's a very particular thing. Mama says, I'm pretty sure a lot of sex pests are closeted aces. Really? Thanks for mentioning before that pepper spray expires. I had to replace mine because I had no idea it wasn't working. Yeah, you should... check its expiry date, and you should also you actually should check every once in a while that it still like works. Like you should spray it periodically. I am not great about keeping up with this because it's just kind of like, where am I going to go spray my pepper spray randomly? Better make sure I'm upwind from it. Better make sure there isn't someone's fucking dog downwind from me randomly. You know what I mean? But you should like check the sprayer periodically to make sure that it still works. Because the last thing you want to do is like figure out in a situation like, oh, it's still within date, but for some reason the spray head is jammed because it's been knocking around in your pocket or your purse on your keys for a while. You know what I mean? It's personal protective equipment. Like this is the case if you should still be wearing N95 masks anytime you go to the store or are in public. And when you wear it, you should make sure that it's well fitted. It's personal protective equipment. Gloves, like plastic latex gloves or whatever, are personal protective equipment. You need to make sure that it's working appropriately. Because that's like, it's equipment designed to protect your life. And so you need to ensure that it's working like properly at all times. Any PPE that you wear. Wasps. Are you going to spray the pepper spray at some wasps? I don't think that's how that works. If legal, carry pepper gel. It works better with no back spray. Yeah, I mean, become familiar with the laws in your area for sure. And keep in mind, too, even with pepper spray, you're running a risk that you could manslaughter someone. You could involuntary manslaughter someone by spraying a person in the face who has asthma. Now, you know, it's in self-defense, ideally. Like, that's what the pepper spray is for. Don't use pepper spray offensively, obviously. But, like, yeah, even if someone is attacking you, just be aware. If you pepper spray somebody and they have asthma or something, they could just die. Oh my gosh. I just have like this weird ligament problem happening in my hips. It's been super weird. Ugh. But yeah, and also, yeah, if you're going to look into pepper gel or something like that, look up your locality's laws and stuff. Oh my God, excuse me. Burpee boy. Y'all know the soups, the Campbell's like condensed chicken noodle soup, and how they're supposed to be really salty, like unhealthily salty? I have to add salt to those. I just ate one earlier, so I'm thinking about it. Like, I have to add salt to those, or maybe they changed the amount in there since I was younger. There was a gap for a while where I just didn't buy those kind of soups. Random thought that I just had. A practical reason never to use pepper spray offensively is if you're walking forward, you'll likely walk into the cloud if it's that form of spray. Yeah, I mean, you should protect your face like when you spray it if possible, and be aware that it might, get you to, if you're not using something like pepper gel. Like pepper spray gel stuff, the way that it's different, like spray is like an aerosol. It goes and like sprays in little fine mist everywhere, and that's like really subject to the wind. If you walk into that air before it has a chance to like settle, it will get in your own eyes. The gel is like heavier, and it's kind of more like silly string. It's kind of like silly string until it gets to the face, and then it kind of like disperses a little bit, but then it sticks instead of being like aerosolized. It's like silly string that just goes and like sticks, which, I mean, it hurts for like over an hour. It's like a concentrated, painful experience for like 5 to 10 minutes, probably, maybe up to 15 minutes. And that's if you have access to like running water and you like have the ability to wash it out repeatedly, and like it will be a very intensely bad experience for like 5 to 15 minutes, and then it's gonna still burn for like an hour or two because it's fucking capsaicin. It's not good to put it in your eyeballs and your well, actually, I don't know how much it would hurt your eyeballs, Because I don't think I've seen any videos of people getting pepper gel in their eyes. It's only gotten like around their eyes on their face. But I mean, it's very serious stuff. It was unis honest. I watched an unis honest video where they got pepper sprayed in the face, but it was like that gel, like sticky stuff. When I make chicken noodle soup, I need to add less salt than to the bad canned stuff. I think that the salt is just not capable of saving it. Yeah. I used to sometimes eat salt on its own, so I feel... Yeah, I actually realized recently, T-Rex, that for me it is because I have POTS, which is like there's a coordination problem between my heart and my veins, and I need to eat a lot of salt. So I'm going to run and grab a cup of water really fast because I was scrambling a little bit before stream started and didn't grab one. While I'm gone, please hit the like button real quick on the website, or not on the website, on the YouTube chat area, and then come back to the website chat and chill over here. Eating salt on its own, crazy. Resumes drinking straight vinegar and eating just lemons. Electrolytes, they're what plants crave, right? Okay, I'll be right back. Ooh-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Gently tap that like button. Sensitively caress that like button. Just give it a little... Just give it a little kiss. A little kiss. You need Brondo, the thirst mutilator. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Precisely. Oof. My chair in order here. So tonight, I'm thinking we're probably going to go for like, I'm going to aim to go for like 3 hours. I think maybe I don't want to stay on until 9 tonight. But we'll see how things go when we get there. Because we do have a couple of stories today. Takes the like button and the mouse together. Now kiss. Do it. I made that joke on one of my friend's Facebook posts like earlier this week. Can't remember what the exact context was, but it was silly. Yeah, it's really interesting seeing what the difference is between like different, like which of my different streams get more traffic than others. Like sometimes it's this early in stream and we have like 50 people here. That does happen sometimes. Currently, there's like 30 people. Did you start early? I think I like this new start time, Paul Hack. I'm going to be doing this probably for the foreseeable future, I think. I'm going to go ahead and do 5 p.m. start times on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I consistently get pooped out at like 9 p.m., so I might as well get the extra hour in, you know? I can only stay for another 40 minutes. There's a free Zoom lecture on the evolution of ancient fishes that I want to attend. That is really exciting. I have the book about the Tiktaalik or whatever. I think that's what it's called, which is like the fossil that they found that's the bridging organism between water organisms and earth things. Because it has like fins, but the fins have little bones. And the bones, like, kind of seem like they're of a structure that they'd actually be able to, like, drag themselves forward a little bit, you know, on them to, like, become basically the first amphibian. Your inner fish. That's exactly what the book is called. What's up, Mersh? Hello. Yeah. I don't know that I ever finished reading it. I'm going to try to start, like, actually reading my books and, like, reading in general. Because I'm going to be, I'm like tutoring my teenage siblings. Like they're just not doing great academically. Just like they just need some extra support that they're not getting right now. So I'm going to be helping them. And that means I'm going to be reading a lot more. I actually really want to read The Hunger Games along with them, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get one from the library anytime soon because there aren't very many copies and there's a lot of holds. So I got to figure out how to get a hold of a copy of The Hunger Games, the book, not the movie. I do like the movies. They're just, I just want to have the opportunity to read the books again. And there is like the library's audiobook thing. I could do that too, I suppose. I just would rather physically read the thing. I don't do that enough anymore, I feel. The class I'm taking, we're actually going to attend a virtual lecture by Neil Shubin, who's the author of Your Inner Fish. That's cool. I like that we have a shared knowledge base and like a shared interest. That's fun. What about an ebook form? Nope. Hate that. Not interested. I'm like trying to, I don't love spending huge quantities of time staring at a screen trying to read. Like I don't have an ebook reader. There's like ones that don't have a backlight, correct? But like on my phone or on the computer, I'm not trying to like sit there and read forever. Keeps buffering. Try to just hit the refresh button because, there's for sure nothing that I can do about it. My internet is kind of just what it is right now. Without an e-ink reader, it's just a recipe for eye strain. I'm trying to spend less time sat here at my desk. I'm supposed to have a really high upload as well. And I feel like it's been consistently pretty okay. We have like a little bit of buffering here and there once in a while, but I feel like it usually doesn't last too long. But if it persists, I don't know if I can get better internet than what I bought. So we'll find out. Spying on Whales is another book that's interesting. Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay. So just to like give an overview of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Yep, it is Mr. Atheist merch. Yeah. I've been friends with Jimmy since he had like 700 subscribers on his first like original channel, Mr. Atheist, which now is just called, is that channel just The Line now? Has he just like rebranded it multiple times at this point? But anyway, when he was very first starting and he only had 700 subscribers, I became friends with him. So yeah, he sent me this a couple years back just to have. It's a pumpkin posse. It's just comfy. It's a hoodie. I love hoodies. I want more hoodies. I need more of them, but to get good quality hoodies, it's like $50-$60 now, especially if you want to buy it like ethically. He's now Jimmy Snow. Well, yeah, like Jimmy Snow, and then he also has The Line, and I just wasn't sure if The Line was a different channel or if he just rebranded Jimmy Snow into The Line. Need more Dysphoria hoodies. Exactly. This hoodie is too small to be a Dysphoria hoodie. He sent me a hoodie that is size small, I believe, and I just think that I think he just made a mistake, like swapped something. Like he meant to send me a medium, but this is a small. So it's not exactly a Dysphoria hoodie in that regard, but I love wearing hoodies. I wear hoodies every day. Anyway, I was about to tell you about what I had in mind for tonight. I wanted to look at, so first of all, the title of the stream, of course, like Trump called Desantis a bad name. And then DeSantis responded. So we're seeing the Republican, like the two guys that we think are both going to try to run for Republican nomination for presidency the next election. They're going at each other already. It's going to be great. That's going to be fun to look at. I was thinking about looking into some of the laws in Montana that have been, I believe that there was, so Erin Reed posted a thread about like, you know how she live tweets through these hearings? What else do you call them? Like, yeah, a hearing where they receive public comment for and against proposed legislation. There was one in Montana, and I think it maybe ended up passing. There's a bunch of different things, though, so I would have to... Yeah, so earlier today, there was a Montana hearing about an anti-drag bill. I think that they may have just gone ahead and shoved through the legislation targeting gender-affirming care for trans youth. So I was thinking about looking at those things maybe a little bit. I didn't quite get together my notes for that part. That was more speculative. Every time you think they can't go downhill, they prove you wrong. Yeah, for sure. Zip up 100% of the time. Nope. Well, okay, so the zip up hoodies do give you an opportunity to just like arrange the zipper in such a way to like give you an excuse for having like a weird bubbly lump around your chest area if you're trying to hide that you have boobs. But I just really prefer pullover hoodies. And you know what you do in a pullover hoodie is you put your hands in the pockets and you just do this. Like you hold, like not down, not like relaxed and down against my body like this. Like just hold it away from your body a little bit, and then it's gonna like solve all your problems. What's up, Jimmy? Montana is also trying to ban the teaching of scientific theories. I heard that. I don't have a link to that, but I like having a zip-up boner. What is that? What? Looks down. Ain't no hiding these babies. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you gotta get like a reduction or whatever. Oh, yeah. A zip-up boner, like in the same way that you can have the zipper hide your boobs. Like, like when you sit down and you're wearing jeans, sometimes the jeans, like the zipper part makes it look like you have a boner. It's always fun. Montana was one of the chiller red states until a few years ago. I was thinking, doesn't Hank Green live there? I thought that he lived in Montana. Like, why have I not seen him talking about any of this? I'm traveling to Montana in June. It seems like it's mostly an issue if you live there. You should be okay visiting, but, I mean, watch your step, right? Chill red state. I mean, I would say Jimmy nails that Kansas, where I live, is a pretty chill red state. Like, it's possible. There are several places within Kansas that are pretty, like, blue areas. Like, I mean, I can think of basically at least 3, 4, maybe, like 4 Democrat counties in Kansas. And they're very populous counties, so, it kind of balances out. There's not, like, a lot of active hate here, and then we also don't have very many, like, mass shootings. Like, it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill here. I live in Louisiana, which is similar. I would have expected Louisiana to have more bullshit going on, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about this, like, the middle America area. Virginia is still basically purple. And that's the only thing that has kept our governor from working us over. Do you have a Republican governor in Virginia? Because one of the things that's like saving Kansas ass right now is that we have a Democratic governor. I mean, if that tells you anything, like, in my lifetime, the governors that I can remember us having are Kathleen Sebelius, who is a Democrat, Sam Brownback, who is a terrible Republican, but then now we have Laura Kelly, who is a Democrat. Youngkin in Virginia, he's terrible. Ugh, rough. There used to be a Rocky Mountain region chillness, a sort of live and let live attitude. Like, I don't like the gays, but as long as they don't come on my ranch, oh no. I mean, Colorado, you know, there was like Aurora, Colorado, that shooting. The Club Q shooting was in Colorado. Man. Dog barking outside. Ooh, that's obnoxious. I don't like living around loud dogs. Kind of irritating. As someone who wants to become a rancher, is your state somewhere I could do that? I mean, what do you mean by ranching? I'm going to go come on conservative ranches. Oh, dear. Governor Youngkin pretended to be moderate, but turned out to be radical as hell. However, we have enough Democrats in the Senate to rein him in. It's the opposite in Kansas. Like, all of the districts are gerrymandered all to hell so that we have a primarily Republican state Congress. But we do manage to, like, get these Democrats voted in for governor. I want to be a catboy rancher. I want to keep sheep and cows. Yeah, I mean, there's land out here for cows, and I've not seen sheep. I'm sure, like, I know for a fact that there is a butcher that I was looking into. I was looking into buying shit from a butcher at one point, and like within driving distance, you know. And did they have sheep? I know they had goat, but I've never like driven past a place in Kansas and been like, there's sheep there. But I mean, I guess I don't see why you couldn't. Have I? I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of land out here. I think most of the farming land is for, Christ. I think it's more for plants and that type of agriculture rather than husbandry. But yeah, again, don't see why you couldn't. You should see the district maps in Florida. I have not really actually closely looked at the maps in Kansas, but I do know that there was a case recently that they were challenging the maps and saying these are super gerrymandered, and it went all the way to the state Supreme Court, and the state Supreme Court said, nah, they're not gerrymandered, and it's going to be 10 years before they get redrawn, so have fun with that. My phone is making noises. Figure out what it's doing and or throw it away. For me, I feel more and more cynical about moving to Colorado because of the housing prices. Yeah, listen, Kansas is also a relatively inexpensive place to live. And that is, you know, it's helping me, at least as far as like, yeah, if I was trying to be a streamer and I lived in Seattle, it would be a lot harder than being a streamer living in Kansas. Let me tell you. Oh, gosh. This show is brought to you by viewers like you. Unfortunately, Kansas relies on the Oglala Aquifer. I don't know anything about aquifers, if I'm being totally honest. The stupid state Supreme Court didn't let the Democrats gerrymander New York State. Oh gosh. Boebert is enough to keep me out of Colorado if they elected her. There's just, everywhere is just like backsliding further into conservatism. It's fucking really irritating. I've lived in Nebraska my whole life and I've never seen any sheep farms anywhere, mainly livestock like cows, pigs, and horses. Right, like, why is that? Where does most sheep farming occur? Texas is the largest sheep producing state, followed by California. So sheep farming, I guess, just tends to happen in hotter, drier places. I guess. The sheep farming industry has been shrinking since 1940, when the U.S. herd reached an estimated 56 million sheep and lambs. You mostly raise sheep for their wool, right? Because that's like a more easily regenerable resource. Because I was just thinking, like, you don't really see sheep meat or veal just around in the store. Like, you don't really see mutton just like around. It used to be more common to eat them, right? Sheep farming in hot areas seems counterintuitive, TBH. True. But you shear them, right? And then they are naked for a while. When I think of sheep, I think of places like Ireland and Scotland. True. I mean, you do, like, you think that, but the United States, at one point had a herd of 56 million sheep in 1940. Sheep work like little lawnmowers that cut the grass down lower than a golf course. They're like chickens. They just eat everything down to the ground. Aren't sheep in the UK? Yeah, I think there's sheep in the UK too. I mean, like, Ireland is part of the UK. Scotland. Republicans seem to be great on Second Amendment rights, but shitty on everything else. They're actually terrible about Second Amendment rights, and I'll tell you why. Because the Second Amendment doesn't really say anything about the individual right. Like, you have the right to a well-regulated militia and to bear arms in accordance with that. But I don't think that the language is actually all that clear in the Second Amendment, that it guarantees your individual right to own a gun. And that is just the result of an interpretation in the courts. So, are we gonna fight? I mean, so you can, if you agree with that interpretation, like, I'm not even saying whether or not I agree with that interpretation, but that is why we view the Second Amendment as being related to an individual's right to bear arms. Like, I don't think like, I'll double check because it's been a minute since I've looked at this. Yeah, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Give me the exact wording, please. Yeah, the Second Amendment is very short. It literally just says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, yeah, the idea that it's an individual right to just own a gun for the sake of owning a gun and hunting and stuff, like, people always invoke hunting. Like, I just use my gun to go hunting. Well, you don't have a constitutional right to do that, actually. If we're gonna lose the right to abortion on the basis that the privacy rights in the 14th Amendment were just based on the interpretation of a previous court, then, it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms within the context of having a militia and a well-regulated militia. Like, if individuals just own guns in a loose manner, that's not well-regulated. That's not a well-regulated militia. Hello, Baphomet. Uh-oh. What is this link to? Oh my god. Did you make that? That's incredible. Infringed is also pretty open to interpretation / political argument. Yeah, this is why the law is a terrible thing to get into, because it's like, you have to be hyper specific in order to avoid loophole situations. It's just supposed to be wowie, right? It's just wowie. Also, we shouldn't base what is right and wrong off a bunch of slave-owning rich people who died 200 years ago. That's a compelling argument, you know? Yeah, it does implicitly grant a right to form militia groups. Which is why, I mean, the Proud Boys are legally allowed to exist. But there's also, like, well, I don't know if you would call it a militia, but, like, there are gun groups that get together that are for lefties as well. Oh my gosh. What does it mean by the right of the people? What are the people, you know? Do the slaves, are they part of the people? Do they get to own guns? I think some leftists are organizing militias, aren't they? Like, that's I mean, like, when we have drag shows that are potentially being interrupted by fash and then a bunch of people wearing trans flags, like, holding their guns down like this, you know, they're just, like, pointed down at the ground. Oh my god, please. Sometimes when you stretch a lot, you can actually make your neck hurt a little bit worse than you originally did, but it's okay. It just happens sometimes. Oof. Big oof. There are definitely leftist and LGBTQIA sympathetic militias. Yep, I'm just going to continue sitting over here, not owning a gun, not going outside, not risking COVID or getting shot. I am a pussy. A lot of those are still more just like Antifa organizations, Antifa associations rather than solid orgs. I don't know what the distinction is. Like, at what point does an association become an organization? You know, like, and like, if you're an anarchist, then how are you gonna, like, organizing is quite difficult. Like, you just gotta be really particular about it. The creation of armed leftist organizations is fairly necessary, IMO. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you all in principle. It's just not like a thing that I'm necessarily... Structure is what makes the difference. I honestly, like, I don't want to try to make community with anyone right now. Because I just really hate... This one looks slightly less bad. You put more shadow on him nose. More shadow on him nose. Yeah, structure really is what makes the difference, i.e. having one. More shadow on him nose. Yes. But I like the dog a lot. The wowie. The puppy poo. Making some more adjustments to the things in the background. Making some more adjustments to the things in the background. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably upload it anyway. There'll just have to be 2 of them. Yeah, so, yeah, the Trump and Desantis thing, the Montana stuff. What else do I want to talk about today? Matt Walsh, who I normally avoid talking about on stream. He testified recently in Tennessee, I think it was, you know, in favor of some anti-trans law, and got questioned by the lawmakers on the panel. And I'm looking forward to checking that out. There's one video that's kind of edited, and then there are a few clips that he himself posted on Twitter. So we'll watch those and react to those. And then I have one feel-good story that I want to get into today. Also, I was thinking, if we get to the end of the stream and it's not like terribly late, which we're going to probably need to get started on the actual topics here soon, I already experimented with this a little bit, putting scales on my face, like makeup scales, using the fishnet, and I tried it, what was it, last night? It was fine. I have thought of something that I want to do differently, so I'm going to try like that new different thing. I mean, maybe we'll put that behind the paywall. If we get to the stream donation goal today, then we'll do makeup, or maybe we'll save it until later in the week. Maybe we'll save it till Sunday. Oh my God, it's Thursday. I'm really out of it today, y'all. Yeah, so Matt Walsh, as usual, it's funny because every time he does something ridiculous, then a whole bunch of other stuff comes out about, like, things that he said some number of years ago. He looks like a totally different person without his beard. It's crazy how different he looks without his beard. Same dude I didn't know what day it was earlier. Yeah, I mean, I'm just... I don't think I slept super well last night. I think something must have disturbed my sleep, and I had a slow morning. I'm glad that I had prepped a bunch of stuff yesterday, so I didn't, when I uploaded a video today, I was not working on it last minute. Everything was prepped and ready. I just had to make it public. He still looks like an asshole either way. I mean, that's fair. But yeah, there's just some days where you continue to get really easily distracted, even though you're taking the fucking Ritalin like you're supposed to be taking the Ritalin. I take the Ritalin like my doctor tells me to, and it does make such a huge difference. Like, to be completely honest, being on the right meds, holy shit. If you're ADHD and you've ever been on like Adderall and you're like, I don't think this is working for me, I'm not going to say try Ritalin specifically, but I will say try something that operates on your dopamine, because now I think that this is one of the main things that's making a big difference. You know how reward systems don't work when you're on, or when you're like unmedicated? You know, when you have ADHD, you accomplish a task, but your brain doesn't like reward you with very much dopamine, and it goes away really quickly. So you don't end up forming habits around doing things like homework, because you aren't getting any like reward feedback chemicals, basically. So instead, I'm on a medication right now that is basically, it's a dopamine reuptake inhibitor. I'm pretty sure is how all of these things work. It's just binding with the dopamine receptors and making it so that there is more free-floating dopamine in your brain tissues. And that means that when I accomplish the task and I give myself the tiny little reward, which currently I'm doing a token reward system, I'll explain that in a second. I'll get my tiny little reward, and then my brain releases a little bit of dopamine, and then it actually stays in my brain. And my brain's like, oh, I did it. I did a thing. And you're like, yeah, I fucking did. And it actually makes me, I'm like, I want to do editing and Photoshop work, which is usually something that I feel avoidant toward, because I'm actually getting the fucking dopamine from it. Oh my God, it feels incredible. I've been up since midnight. Why have you been up since midnight, Knox? What sleep schedule are you on? Are you going to go to sleep soon? I'm between ADHD meds right now, and I'm used to Adderall. I'm trying to get back on Vyvanse, and I have shit due this week. I just cannot focus at all. Yeah, I've been on Vyvanse before. I didn't dislike it. I think that finally the stupid patent stuff is going to roll over for Vyvanse, and there's going to be the ability to produce generics soon. I hope so, because it's like $400 a month. Darth Gently, you've been up for over 24 hours now. Why? They won't give me Adderall, regrettably, only Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin sucks for ADHD. That's an anti-anxiety medication. Or like an antidepressant or whatever. Like, and also Wellbutrin is used for smoking cessation. Like, I have never seen... That's so weird. I was on Ritalin, then moved to Adderall, and then Vyvanse. Now I'm unmedicated again. I've heard that people will take Wellbutrin to help with smoking cessation. Yeah. For real, if there's no generic version, I don't get to do that medication. Thankfully, yeah, Ritalin is also so super common, so I only spend like $8 a month, $10 a month, something like that. I can't remember exactly what it costs nowadays. I'm proud of you for being off of nicotine, Baphomet. I am also off... Oh, you all... Wait. So I'm also off of nicotine, and I'm proud of myself. But Skylar says, I take Wellbutrin for ADHD. Works fine for me. Okay. I had not heard that before. Good to know, though. Wellbutrin just made me more anxious. Or, I mean, I don't know. I was experiencing anxious circumstances the entire time that I was on all of these different medications. So it's hard to say whether the efficacy of the meds was there or not. But I mean, also my diagnoses have switched. Like, my depression and anxiety were really symptoms of PTSD and borderline personality disorder instead of being like primary things. There is a benefit to if you can't sleep. Yeah, Jaybird says there is a benefit to just lying in bed doing nothing. Like 30 minutes of just resting in bed, while obviously not going to be as restful as like 30 minutes of sleep in a given night. Still better for you than nothing. Do I want coffee? Sometimes you're just like, I really want like a 6 p.m. coffee. And I drink decaf, so I can do that. I'm allowed to do that. The results of trauma give you a lot of comorbidities people assume are unique to other conditions. Well, when you first start treatment, like for me, I was seeing a meds person for like, because I thought that depression and anxiety were my main issues. And then, yeah, I had a lot of the diagnostic criteria for depression and anxiety, but she just threw meds at me for like 7 years, like a bunch of different meds for like 7 years, and it fucking sucked. And I just quit at some point. I was like, okay, I quit now. Like, this sucks and it's not working. For 7 years, and eventually I started going to a trans support group therapy session thing, and that was cool. And then the therapist who led that got me into individual therapy from that point. And then I got diagnosed with borderline, and then I got diagnosed with PTSD, and now I'm medicated again, but for ADHD, and not like throwing fucking Prozac at... Borderline personality disorder doesn't have a chemical component to it. Like, obviously, if you're having panic attacks, you can take Xanax and it will help you. But you can't, like, just be on Wellbutrin and it will work, because it doesn't. It doesn't do anything. Later, Spider. I hope you enjoy that lecture. Have fun. The electrolysis tech told me to drop caffeine so it hurts less. I wonder if it just does something to your skin. They just left her on Zoloft for a decade from age 15. I was on a bunch of different meds throughout the time that I was... I mean, we were like trying different stuff. But I was like on Wellbutrin for 3 years, and it just sucked. I'm on Rexulti for my BPD. I have not heard of that one before. But I've been told that the primary treatment for borderline is therapy. Yeah, it's tough to be on Adderall because it's a stimulant and it can hurt your heart health. Like, I have a heart condition, and so my doctor was actually hesitant to put me on Ritalin because he was like, oh, that might increase your heart rate. But it also can increase your blood pressure. So the medicine is increasing my blood pressure and actually reducing my symptoms of POTS, which is great. It's amazing. Similar to Abilify. Okay, I've heard of Abilify, but I haven't looked into it in depth. I'm not sure like what it is or what it does. Oh, that sucks. Being on like a med that's working and having it taken away from you, Jimsy. Oh, hey, I'm allergic to Abilify. Oh, shit. It's an antipsychotic I took for hallucinations in my childhood. I thought that antipsychotics were like very specifically for certain issues. Is it to address like the transient paranoid ideation or something? Almost everything is an antipsychotic, TBH. I thought that they were a very specific thing. I thought it was a very specific thing. Might just be my bad. They just get prescribed for everything. Oh, wow. Okay. Weird. I'm going to get my notes here together and started because it's 6 p.m. But yeah, I always kind of thought that antipsychotic meds were ones that you really needed to be careful with not giving those out for like no reason. I mean, it's like lithium is not an antipsychotic, but lithium is also one of those things where you want to be careful with how you give it, right? Okay, so there's like just under 50 people here right now. If you have not yet hit like on the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that really quick. It'll be so fast. Just on the YouTube page, just hit like. That will bring new people in. It literally always does. If we get like 4 or 5 more likes, we will consistently get 2 or 3 more viewers in. So thank you for that, because we're going to get into talking about the news here in a second. Oh my God. I'm on antipsychotics for about 10 years now. I hope it's working for you. TBH, there's a lot of guessing and smoke and mirrors and medical treatment of mental conditions at every level. Yeah, listen, I know. It's really a toss-up what's going to work for you. Okay, what do we want to do first? Do we want to do Matt Walsh first? I have rarely talked about him on the channel because I think he's incredibly irritating. Like, he brings up the rage and anger in me, you know? Sorry, Lux, I can't like the stream because I love it. Oh my God. I need to put in a love function. You need to have a little love heart function. And fucking Seroquel. Oh my God, my fucking head hurts. Let's get Matt Walsh out of the way first, you think? So we've got Matt Walsh, we've got Trump and DeSantis, we've got Montana anti-trans bills, and we've got a feel-good story. And I think that's basically all I have on my list for tonight. I'm sure that we could find something else to add to it, but that's what I got for tonight so far. I got a little bit of a headache, so I'm trying to work it out. I swear to God, if this is what happens on days where I stream, even though I feel like I'm having a hard time focusing, is like my response to trying to make myself focus is to develop a headache, that's gonna be annoying. What made you so hungry, Skylar? Risperdal. Was that for Adderall? Or sorry, was that for ADHD? What was that? What did you take that for? Start with the worst, best to get it out of the way. Yeah, the Trump DeSantis thing is kind of like funsies. Excuse me. Burpee boy. Oh my God. Okay, chill. Let me get this queued up. I'll get my notes open and get my links. Get my links together. There's one. There's two. Paxil made me gain weight as a kid. Clinical depression after my dad died. Yeah. I feel like if you've been trying to figure out meds for like longer than 5 years, then maybe you need to like look at some potentially like diagnoses that can only be solved through therapy. Like, I feel like you shouldn't, if you're like trying a bunch of different meds for 5 years, you need to take a closer look at your diagnosis. Do cold compresses help with your headaches? I don't really get headaches often, so I don't have like a go-to method for helping with my headaches. I think that my head hurts because my neck hurts. I think that's usually what happens. So you just gotta stretch, you know? You just gotta take some gentle, loving time to stretch your neck a little bit. Do something kind for yourself, okay? And I don't mean like treat yourself, like, oh, you know, go buy yourself a latte. You know, that's a nice little form of self-care or whatever. But you should also do things that are kind to yourself, like holding the weight of your head and giving yourself a gentle little neck, you know, like, you know, and like cradling your face while you do it. Just a moment of kindness for yourself. That's important. If you're just trickling in and you are going to hear it, if you're going to be here and hanging out for a little while, click the like button, why don't you? Just real fast. Even if you're going to leave soon, just click the like button and then leave. I don't care. Good reminder, I just rolled my neck slowly and it sounded like gunfire. Like, it's like a ratchet. Thankfully, I'm in therapy. It's helped a lot. Turns out I have PTSD. Yeah, like maybe you've been trying to treat anxiety for 30 years and like then you go to therapy and it turns out that you have PTSD, right? Got your Toon link, Young link, Femboy link, all the links. True. Oh, Violet, I think I might take you up on the 1 month of WoW time if you have the gold for it and it won't cost you any actual real money. That would be cool because even if I don't play it on stream, I think that I want to just try to enjoy like a month of it for myself. I'll see. You should DM me or something on some platform and I will give you my email for my account, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what is. Are you in the Discord? I don't know what your account is on Discord. If you need a tank for Duns, let me know. Yeah. Perhaps. I like that there's like a big random generator now. Like, yeah. Just, yeah, if you need my email or something, let me know. I had a psychologist that specialized in childhood trauma and PTSD, and she flatly said to me, literally every bullied child has PTSD, so it's probably enormously more common than is thought. Oh yeah, I think a lot of us have like parents that fucked us up and like childhood bullies and weird adults like coaches who probably abused us in some manner, like, right? Everybody's got something. I am now at work. Oh, rip, Mama Mephistopheles. Rip. Well, we're going to start talking about important stuff that really, really, really matters now. Such important stuff. I had to drink more water. Jesus Christ, my throat is so dry. I don't like the medical approach to mental illness, especially treatment that just becomes indefinite and the whole time these people are stigmatized and marginalized. I mean, it's complicated. It's complicated, and it is like, I understand treating it like a medical problem if something is causing dysfunction in your life, then like, okay, this needs to be treated. Are we discussing the Oklahoma situation? I didn't have Oklahoma on my itinerary tonight. Brutus, what happened in Oklahoma? There's anti-trans laws passing all over the goddamn country. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've gotten help through the medicalized situation, but I do understand that sometimes people are very like abused within the medicalized system because of the fact that their behavior is medicalized. So I don't know. Silver says, I have this stream running in the background while I draw. It gives me the illusion that I ain't alone. Currently rendering out some tangled vines. Ooh, yes. I want more of these vines. If somebody doesn't get them for me off my wish list, I got one packet and I want to get a second packet off my Amazon wish list of these fake vines. And because I just want this to be thicker, you know? I want it to be more thicket and tangly and a little bit less wall visible. That would make me happy. And if somebody doesn't get them for me off of the list, that's fine. I will buy them when I can afford it. That's the token system that I'm doing. I have some curtains that I want to buy. And I have a system where periodically when I accomplish something in the process of editing or uploading or Photoshop or whatever, I have like a little jar and I have some dragon tears, like the little glass, just like little tiny glass things. And because of the cost, because of how many of those dragon tears I have and the cost of the object that I'm working toward, it's like 50 cents. Each one of these is worth 50 cents. And so when I have the appropriate dollar amount of those little beans, I'm going to buy myself these curtains that I want. So that's one thing that you can do to trick yourself into doing things, is just give yourself a little, the token is a representation of something. So you're not actually giving yourself an immediate reward. It's not like, oh, when I finish these chores, I'm going to eat some pizza. It's a representation of a reward that you're working toward in the long distance. And it only works if you actually follow through and buy the thing at the end of it, though. So sometimes instead of doing a token reward system, you should use like chocolate or so either like M&Ms or like Skittles or like gummy bears, some small reward that is an immediate reward system. But it's more like instead of at the end of all your chores, you get a gummy bear. It's more like, I finished doing half of the dishes, eat a gummy. Not those kind of gummies now. Behave. Don't do a reward system with weed gummies. Holy shit. I don't think that would work very well for you. It would be like taking a shot every time someone says the word the. Like, don't do that. A reward system with weed gummies would not last long. Truly, it would not last long. Oh shit, Brutus, you have COVID? I am so sorry. I hope that you get well soon. Make sure that you rest a lot while you're sick. And then also, like, for as long as you can after you stop having symptoms, try to take it as easy as possible, because you can like increase the likelihood that you'll have complications related to long COVID. It'll take you longer to get better. The more you try to get back to it as soon as possible, like take it as easy as you possibly can. The first time I had edibles, I dropped 2 because I didn't feel the first one. Big mistake. You gotta wait. Okay, I didn't realize there were so many weed people in here. I live in Kansas, so I cannot participate, but I'm glad that you all have successful reward systems using THC. Yeah, be good. Be good. The Welsh government cited wanting to protect LGBTQ+ rights in the face of the anti-trans movement in the UK as the reason that they're also trying to pass a self-ID law. Oh yeah, I did not see that, Solander. Thank you for bringing it up. They really are gonna break up the UK as we know it. Like they're gonna officially break up the UK and make England go be by itself now. I can't afford weed, plus Pooland making it illegal makes it annoying to get. I mean, yeah, that too. Like, even if I lived somewhere where it were legal, like, I stopped drinking alcohol because alcohol is expensive. Like, I'm not gonna go to the weed store and get something that's probably at least as expensive. Yeah, I have seen that there are Hogwarts Legacy ads all over the place. I will take solace in the fact that I am taking some money from them every time you see an ad for Hogwarts Legacy on my channel. I'm making money off of those ad views, and the money that I'm making is like a portion of the money. Wait, how does that work? Like, I think that, yeah, Hogwarts Legacy pays YouTube and says, please show our ads on your content, and then when they pay me, I'm getting a portion technically of that money. I'm clicking the ads, but I ain't buying. Do it. Yes, I mean, for sure. Click the ads. Always click the ads. I also believe the Prime Minister has now come out in support of the death penalty. Oh no. Rishi Sunak just came out in support of the death penalty? I click on every ad I see. I just pay for YouTube Premium so that I don't have to deal with this. What's up, Sisukara? No, you can't pay me to click a Dr. Squatch advertisement. It would ruin your algorithm, right? I literally see Daily Wire ads on YouTube. Not surprised to see Hogwarts Legacy ads. It's just weird for it to be on my content, you know? Yeah, I had to quit my daily beer habit the same way. Man, it's crazy how much people just like mentioning, like I'll be like listening to the audiobooks. I'm like listening to the A Song of Ice and Fire audiobooks right now, and they're talking about wine, and I'm like, man, I want to get drunk. And I'm like, I don't though. Like, I will feel bad. It doesn't feel good anymore. The algorithm probably literally links it to you because of the controversy. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like, the ads that you all see on YouTube, it is both, like, calibrated to my content and to the stuff that it thinks that you'll like. So there are a lot of queer and trans people who used to be a big part of the Hogwarts, like, fandom, like the Harry Potter fandom. I had literally 2 libs being after me today about the Hogwarts game. Yeah? What were they getting on your case about? I do like how drunkenness feels only if I'm alone or a single person I'm into. Otherwise, I can't. I get very friendly. I mean, I'm almost 30. I'm going to be 30 next year. And it's just, sometimes I get a headache before I'm even done drinking for the night, you know? Like, much less the next day. Sometimes hangovers last for 2 days now, which fucking sucks. Like, oh my God, why? I get a lot of ads for Charles River Labs after I bought some lab rats from them once. It's funny when you buy a thing that you really only need one of, like a toilet seat or something, and then Amazon's like, I'm going to show you toilet seats for the next 3 months. I was a huge Harry Potter fan growing up. I was also a, quote, boy born at the end of July with black hair and green eyes who never fit in at all. I really identified with Hermione. Hydrating and taking in electrolytes can help against hangovers, and also fruit. I think fruits help because they have electrolytes in them. Okay, I gotta start this fucking Matt Walsh thing soon, or I'm gonna procrastinate for the rest of the night. ruins sleep too. True. I mean, that's the other thing, Dark Canuck. Like, I do have that, problem where I'm like, it just ruins my sleep every time. Like, every time I'm waking up at 3 a.m. The only ads that somehow go through for me are Viagra shit, men's clothing, and Warcraft. I think my browser is trying to tell me something. I've been sober for 25 years. Damn, Canuck, that is fucking impressive. Congratulations. Okay. There have been anti-trans bills all over the place, all over this country for at least the past year, and there are just more and more and more of them. So we often see more and more testimony, a lot of these hearings where they're receiving public comment and they're flying in a bunch of quote-unquote experts who are like dentists and other super qualified professionals, quote-unquote qualified professionals, as well as, the same 5D transitioners over and over again. And apparently Matt Walsh decided to show up and testify at one of these things. It's usually like the ones that we keep seeing popping up on my timeline, at least, are the ones that are... Hold on. It's usually like youth healthcare bans, like against trans kids having access to healthcare. Sports, sometimes we see some of these about sports as well. And in this case, I believe, it's just yet another one in Tennessee this time regarding trans kids having access to healthcare. I haven't looked into the bill at all because I'm sure that the thing about a lot of these things is it's the same bill, like repeatedly, like the literal same content copy pasted, and it's not original. Like we watched the Trump video recently, and Trump managed to hit every single talking point that just like took all of these different anti-trans bills that are happening across the country and like compiled all of the bullshit that they say into like one 4-minute campaign video. So anyway, I wanted to look at this Matt Walsh testimony. First, we're going to look at this video that's been like edited together a little bit just to keeping it tight and edited here. And then Matt Walsh himself included some more context and was like, funny how you clip-chimped this whole thing. He didn't say clip-chimped, but like that's the idea. Like, funny how you clipped out all the context, such and such and such. So we'll see. We'll see if the context makes it any better, Mr. Walsh. Mr. I definitely have a chin under this beard Walsh. Mr. I wore a trilby to my wedding Walsh, milady. That's true, by the way. Let me get my volume correct here. Let me get my volumes all set up here.
Your educational background or your healthcare education?
Okay. Making some adjustments here. That should be good. If you haven't hit like already, do that really quick. Chin cell, true. Sometimes they just file the same bill more than once in the same state so that 1 out of the 10 they filed will pass. I mean, basically, yeah, they'll have small little tweaks, like small little distinctions between them, but for the most part, yeah, it's basically all the same thing. So, all right, let's go ahead and watch this first little bit. This one's all disingenuously edited, supposedly, so we'll see what this is all about.
Can you give us a summary of your educational background or your healthcare education?
I didn't go to college, but I did go to school long enough to learn how to read, so I can read the...
I didn't go to college, but I did go to school long enough to learn how to read. Like, all right, man, cool.
Data for myself, and that's exactly what I've done.
And for what purpose do you conduct your research and use this brain of yours?
I use it for the purpose of trying to protect children from being castrated and mutilated.
You don't use it to get clicks?
Well, are you using it right now to try to get clicks with this interaction?
Are you using it right now to try to get clicks with this interaction? Like, answer the question, man. Like, what are you talking about? This Darvo shit. Why do people do that? I really, really, really hate it when someone's like, when it's like, hey, are you doing this disingenuously? And they're like, well, are you being disingenuous right now? Like, wow, what a fucking idiot.
You know, if you're going to come before a committee and make mischaracterizations and misrepresentations, it's fair game for us to ask you your educational background.
You seem to have started this, so you have no medical background, correct?
No.
You're trying to address good public policy, correct?
Yes.
I just have to question, some of your public policy. Singapore is able to have nice things in part because...
Oh, yeah. You know how everybody always says, like, Twitter is not real life? Like, guess what? Twitter is real life. It turns out the things that you say on Twitter are public statements, and you will have these things called into question if you then try to make public policy. Congrats. I mean, yeah, I guess Trump really solidified that when it started being the case that his proclamations on Twitter were considered like official government statements. Yo, yeah, he has the receipts.
Because they execute drug dealers by hanging and arrest even petty vandals and thieves and beat them with a cane until they bleed. We don't have nice things here because we aren't willing to do what is required to maintain them. I kind of have to question your public policy beliefs. And you also stated there'd been no studies. Well, I'm sitting here holding a study from the American Academy of Pediatrics, suicidal disparities between transgender and cisgender adults and children. Before you state things, you may need to know all the facts.
On your blog at about 60.
Hey, again, this is a little bit, it's edited in such a way to be like, we're highlighting the dunks that the committee members are doing on Matt Walsh. So again, we'll see if Mr. Matt Walsh's context makes it any better.
You're an adult who's mature and can make decisions. You're that at 16. I don't care what anybody says, even going so far as to say when you're 16, you should be married and pregnant. 16 is...
So these are like, he's calling out statements that Matt Walsh has made previously, where he's basically said that 16 years old is like the perfect age for a young girl to get pregnant and like get married and stuff.
An adult, in your view, why does this bill have minor defined as 18?
I was a radio host 13, 14 years ago in my early 20s. It's also not an accurate reflection of what I actually said. I was talking about the fact that people tended to marry young historically, and that's all that was about. How does that relate to this? To all of a sudden act like this phenomenon.
Well, yeah, I mean, it relates to this because if you think that people who are 16 have enough agency to get married and have babies, then you also should think that they have agency to make other medical decisions, like transition-related medical decisions or something like that. I don't know.
And of girls getting pregnant at a young age that we consider young, 16 or 17, to act like it's a new thing is ridiculous. It's always been that way. Girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile. Recently, in the last 30 years or so, we decided that's way too young to start a family. So what I'm saying is that the problem is not per se teenage pregnancy, it's unwed pregnancy. That's the problem in society.
Yeah, so he was for sure saying, like, at the age of 16, you should be able to get married off, and then it's okay for you to have sex with an adult and get pregnant. Like, my favorite edit was Biden calling out Republicans bald-faced lying to their own fellow Republicans that they were secretly gunning to destroy Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security. I think I saw those. Maybe I didn't see exactly what you saw, but I did see some folks pointing out that they were, feigning all this outrage, even though they had explicitly said in other situations where they didn't know they were being recorded that they were trying to cut Social Security completely. It's more like age 26 to 18 anyway. He isn't even factually correct. He's just a pedo and a narcissist that wants to justify his pedophilia and scapegoat queer people for it. Right, like age 16, your body isn't even finished developing. Like, part of the reason why women used to die so often in childbirth and die so young was because they were birthing children at like age 15, which is too young to have a baby. Like, you're putting your body through too much. You're not done growing. Your hips are not done filling out. Like, my hips didn't finish filling out until I was like 24. I mean, maybe most of the bone structure changes happened by the time I was like 22, but yeah. I'm childbirth deaths are still high in person of color communities. Well, yeah, their medical neglect for sure, like just ignoring black women when they have very clear symptoms of like dangerous blood pressure and stuff like that. Anyway, so that was the clip chimped thing. And then here, oh yeah, right in the replies right here, Matt Walsh, whoops, you guys accidentally edited all of these clips and spliced them together to remove most of my responses. I'm sure it was a simple oversight. Here are the full interactions. You're welcome. And then I have this link right here. Today, I testified at a committee hearing in support of a bill banning child mutilation in Tennessee. I cannot talk today. A Democrat on the committee asked what qualifies me to speak on the subject. It was a very dumb question, but I tried my best to answer it for him. I mean, that's not a dumb question. Like, what? Yeah, preeclampsia. It's not a dumb question. Why do you like it? This is a question of medical care and like whether this type of treatment is good practice for medical care for trans kids. And you should be qualified. You should have some medical background to some degree. You should have gone to some amount of college, maybe like a college biology class at the very fucking minimum. But like Matt Walsh is like, I'd never been to college. Yeah, that's true, Violet Lane. It gets really complicated with all the various factors that go into it. So, okay, let me make sure. How is volume working here? Is this good?
I really like the idea.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Maybe we'll take it just slightly. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, Mr. Walsh, let's see if your context is any better, sir.
Can you give us a summary of your educational background or your healthcare education experience?
Mr. Walsh, you recognized. My experience in healthcare?
Your educational background. I'm just curious. You've testified as to a lot of your own research. So I'm curious for what purpose you do that and what background you have to qualify you to speak to that.
Well, my background that qualifies me to speak to this is that I'm a human being with a brain and common sense, and I have a soul. And so, therefore, I think it's a really bad idea to chemically...
That's like his whole justification is like, I have a brain and I've decided that this type of medical care is immoral.
...castrate children. That is my experience. Also, I did... Now, it's true, I didn't go to college, but I did go to school long enough to learn how to read.
I didn't go to college, but I did go to school long enough to learn how to read. You did not go to school long enough to learn how to critically think, sir. I'm sorry for you on that regard. Where did you grow up? Like, what kind of, like, what did this man even go to high school, or was he, like, for sure, like, homeschooled?
So I can read the data for myself. And that's
I have a soul. Citation needed. Oh, no.
exactly what I've done.
Representative Clemens, you're
And for what purpose do you conduct your research and use this brain of yours?
Mr. Walsh, you're recognized.
I use it for the purpose of trying to protect children from being castrated and mutilated. That's one of the things I try to do.
You don't use it to... Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You don't use it to get clicks on your publication?
Well, are you using it right now to try to get clicks with this interaction?
Oh, my God, dude. Like, it's still so disrespectful. Hold on.
No, I really like the
Mr.
idea
Walsh.
of getting of drawing attention to the fact that this is happening to children. I know you seem to find it very amusing. I don't.
Wow. I mean, like, that's the kind of thing that you do when you know for sure that you've been called out. Like, that's just classic textbook deflection of someone who has been accurately, like, laser sight targeted, called out. Like, you're doing this to generate clicks. And he's like, well, I know, no, you're doing that. Actually, I'm not. That's you. How dare you even accuse me? It seems like you accusing me is you admitting that you're guilty of doing that, actually. I think that you're trying to get the clicks. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. All right. What else have you gotten here? He says, I loved this part where one of the Dems fell completely silent when I asked him whether he thinks 16-year-olds can consent. Let's see. Hold on. This was tweeted by Ben Shapiro.
I found it, thank you, Mr. Walsh. I found it interesting. One of our people testified today that they had their gender affirming surgery at 16. And I know you in former comments mentioned this on your blog. At about 16, you're an adult who's mature and can make decisions. You're that at 16. I don't care what anybody says. Even going so far as to say, 16 people. When you're 16, you should be married and could be pregnant or should be pregnant. So I'm curious if 16 is an adult in your view. Why does this bill have the minor defined as 18?
Mr. Walsh, you're recognized.
Yeah, that's a hit piece you took from
Matt Walsh is like apparently not able to understand the decorum of the room. Like almost every time he's started answering these questions before being recognized. And like, yeah, it's super arbitrary and honestly a little bit creepy when you have these like almost ritualistic aspects to these meetings where like, this person has been officially recognized and like you have to be called upon and like you have to wait until the correct moment to take a bathroom break and shit like that. Like it can be a little bit weird, but like Matt Walsh just fundamentally does not understand the rules of this procedure. And it's only slightly, it's only like a small faux pas, I'm sure, to like interrupt and like start talking before he's been called upon, but it is grating on my nerves.
Media Matters from something when I was a radio host 13, 14 years ago, in my early 20s. It's also not an accurate reflection of what I actually said. I was talking about the fact that people tended to marry young historically, and that's all that was about. How does that relate to this subject?
Just curious of your definition of if you feel like people are adults at 16 should...
Well, people are adults at 18, but actually your brain is not fully developed until you're 25.
Okay, are you going to decide to make the age for marriage and the military and drinking and everything age 25?
So we should be having a conversation about whether we should even be doing these surgeries to people at 18. But certainly before 18, it's absurd. I mean, do you think that a 16-year-old can meaningfully consent to having their body parts removed? Do you? No?
This is like a really weirdly long silence. But also like I don't think it is typically considered normal for questions to be asked back. Is that normal? Like, unless it's a clarifying question.
We do not. Yeah, we ask the questions. It's not. It's Representative Hammer. You are recognized.
Yeah, like I don't think that's the appropriate venue to ask that question. And it's weird for them to cast it as like, oh, you leave as an elected Democrat absolutely speechless. Like, isn't normal for them to just ignore questions, or like, is it normal for them to be made to answer questions about their own beliefs on this? Like, that's not the point of this. Can they consent to sex? Can they drive? I mean, honestly, young people can consent to medical procedures all the time. I know there's so many white names. Yeah, we haven't gotten any donos tonight. For shame. How dare you? I'm joking. There could be any number of reasons for not getting donos. I'm doing okay so far for this time in the month, but, we'll see how things go. It's February. Everybody tightens their belt in January and February. I get it. Chat is fucking poor. I am also poor, so I get it. It's not like you see me out here donating to streamers. Hello, Dashy Heels. Welcome in. Yeah, it would be like a witness asking the judge questions in a court of law. Or like, it would be more like a witness asking the lawyer. Yeah, like the lawyer is there asking you questions and you start questioning the lawyer. The lawyer and the judge are both going to be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, that's not procedure here. Yeah, the circumcision conversation. I mean, yeah, it's the same as the intersex mutilation conversation at that point. Okay, I think there's one more of these. So yeah, there's one more of these. Things were kicked off with this perfectly valid and relevant question from a Republican about claims that, quote, gender affirmation reduces the suicide rate. As I explained, that claim is utterly baseless. Oh, okay, so we're just going to have 3 minutes of Matt Walsh declaring what is scientifically
Just a quick
sound.
question for you. We've heard in the news last week and even today that it's pro-life to vote against this bill. We've heard that suicides are prevalent, and suicide has impacted my family, so I'm sensitive when I hear something like that. I've read some of the stuff that you've done, and I was wondering, can you speak to the statistics of mental health and suicidal tendencies for the people who have gone through transition and for people who have not? In your studies, from what I've read, can you speak to that?
Mr. Walsh, you recognize?
Sure.
Every time he does not respect the decorum of this space. It's, I guess, weird for an anarchist to be sitting here like saying you should respect the decorum of this, like, essentially this legal proceeding. But God, the autistic in me is just like, please, like, acknowledge the structure. Jesus.
Well, the claim that doing the chemical castration drugs or surgery or hormonal intervention, the claim that this prevents suicide or has positive psychological effects down the line is utterly, totally baseless.
Okay, so yeah, he's just going to throw out all of the scientific research that disagrees with him on this, I suppose.
There are no credible long-term studies that bear that out. And one of the reasons for that is that there couldn't possibly be any credible long-term studies because we've never done this to kids on this scale.
Oh, this is also like, we've never done this to kids on this scale. We have plenty of trans people who grew up in the 70s and 80s, like, who got treatment, who transitioned. It's fine. There are trans kids, like, there are people who used to be trans kids who are now trans adults. It's fine. Like, it just overt lies. Just overt lies.
Ever before in history. So this current, shall we say, crop of children, they are the guinea pigs. This is all experimental. We're sort of trying it out on them to see if it works.
No.
Now, they have attempted a few times to do studies, and the interesting thing is that the World Professional Association of Transgender Health, WPATH, which is a radical far-left pro-trans
organization.
They commissioned a study to try to prove that that hormones and puberty blockers decrease suicide rates among trans-identified youth, and even in their own study, they found that they couldn't prove it. They couldn't make that link because it's just not possible to do. The other thing I would mention too is that
it's just not possible. Wait, what do you mean? It's not possible to do? It's not possible to demonstrate a difference in mental health outcomes, but like before and after implementation of puberty blockers, or before and after implementation of hormones. Like, oh my God, dude. This is enraging me. I got to get away. I've been arguing against TERFs all day. Have a good stream and catch you later. Listen, Amy, don't feel bad about that at all. There is a reason why I don't hang out in other people's streams, and that's because it's my job to deal with this frustration, and I don't want to deal with it in my off time and my time where I'm trying to hang out and chill. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Have a good meal time. Yeah, no worries. If tide goes in, tide goes out. Can't explain that. You absolutely can't explain that, for sure.
You know, the number of trans-identified youth has skyrocketed in recent years. We're talking about exponential 10x, 20x growth. Just
do I need to pull out the graph of left-handedness? Like, yeah, it turns out when you stop beating children for using their left hand, you have a temporary dramatic increase in left-handedness, and then it levels out after a while. You know, it turns out if you like try to suppress trans kids, and then suddenly there's a bunch more awareness, and we make this slight change toward acceptance rather than suppression, then yeah, you're gonna see temporarily a dramatic increase, and then it's gonna level out. But no, this man has the IQ of a fucking goldfish.
Huge numbers of have increased. And what we hear from the pro-trans side is that, well, this is not a social contagion. It's just that, there's always been this many trans people. It's just that they were not in an affirming environment before in history, and so they couldn't come out. And now for the
that's why people don't come out until they're adults later on.
first time, trans people have the ability to live their truth, so to speak. Well, if that's the case, and there have always been these sort of like millions of trans people, and if it's also true that if we don't affirm them, that it would cause them to commit suicide, then we should be able to look back in history and find just this unbroken, incredible epidemic of children mysteriously killing themselves because they weren't being affirmed as trans. And what you find is that that didn't exist. I mean,
I actually don't know how you would look at that, because they're like, I mean, the thing is that a lot of these kids are going to have killed themselves, and their parents are just going to chalk it up to like depression and like, oh, they were being bullied. So yeah, they killed themselves because they were being bullied. That's the thing about being a trans person in the closet, is that when you die, no one knows that you died because you were trans. Denver, thank you so much for the $5 dono. It says, hey, Lux, just passing through because I can't stomach listening to this POS, but have a good stream. Thank you. Come back later because we are not going to be talking about him for that much longer. Thank you for your dono. I really, really appreciate that. Let me add that to the thingy-ma-bopper. I put it away and now I need it back. Give it back to me. I need to fix it. Ah. Oh, nope. Not 23, 23. There we go. Yeah, and that doesn't even, suicides have also historically been covered up. Like, oh, they had an accident, because it's also, first of all, it used to be considered sinful. It was sinful to commit suicide. So you want to hide that from the community. It's shameful to commit suicide. So you hide that from the community. It's not proper. That's a private matter. We don't discuss this. So how could you even tell historically? How do you, if not everybody leaves like a suicide note, how do you know why people in ancient Greece may or may not have committed suicide? Like, it's just such a weird guy. Excuse me. Yeah, reminder when Matt said, quote, prepubescent kids are getting double mastectomies on Joe Rogan. Yeah, exactly. Can we have Matt Walsh's voice being super high pitched so he sounds even more ridiculous? Maybe in post. Maybe I'll do it when I upload this in post.
The youth suicide rate has increased exponentially alongside trans affirmation. So trans affirmation causes the suicide.
Is that actually the case? Has teen suicide been on an increase? I would be interested to see if that's the case. And like, also, just because there is a correlation between two increases doesn't mean that there is a causal relationship between them necessarily in this case. You'd have to demonstrate the causal relationship.
Suicide rate, not the other way around. The last thing I'll note is that the suicide rate among trans-identified people is sky high. It remains sky high. All the data shows this. It remains sky high even after surgery. And in fact, in the...
Okay, again, so that is just a lie. He doesn't believe anything he says. He knows is all to justify his theocratic fascism. How people think the guy who wants to execute his enemies isn't above lying is beyond me. Yeah, I mean, he just is literally lying. And I do kind of wish that there were more active pushback on this. I think that he's going to finish talking and then they're going to dismiss him. But like, yeah. I think he just overtly is willing to do and say whatever is required to eliminate trans people. But that's just a funny little feeling that I have.
Most reliable data that we have, it's years after surgery when suicidality is the highest for trans-identified people.
What are you talking about? Oh my God, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Oh man. Shush. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my God. I don't even have very much to add. Like, do I have to have like a fucking dissertation of links ready? And like, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter when you're talking to someone like Matt Walsh or like any of the kind of people who believe Matt Walsh, because again, they're just fascists who will do and say whatever they need to in order to accomplish their goals. So if you bring good studies to the table, they'll just say like, oh, that study was done by the WPATH. They're biased, so you can't listen to anything they say. Only this study from America First Nuclear Families Only. This is the only unbiased study on the subject. Like, oh my God, I hate this fascist fucking idiot. Being in virtual distance of Matt Walsh has been proven to reduce your IQ. Don't bother. I usually don't talk about him because, like, I'm seeing red. All I'm seeing is intrusive thoughts. You know the intrusive thoughts that you get sometimes? The ones that make you wince? And you're like, nope, don't want to envision that. When you're like, oh yeah, remember that horror movie that you saw fucking 10 years ago? You're going to see some things in your mind right now. Like, I don't need this in my life. But Matt Walsh is the enemy that we're against. Like, it's important to acknowledge that this psychopath is out here doing his best to make sure that, like, trans people as we understand them today are all going to not exist. Either you're going to be forcibly turned into a conforming cis person, or you will be dead, and they don't care which one it is as long as you don't exist as trans. They will do whatever it takes to make that happen. And I would say it's fair to say that we should do whatever it takes to make sure they cannot stop us in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, Matt Walsh's feelings don't care about the facts. Come to Canada, big pee-pee move. I've been thinking about it for a while, Dashi. I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm not talking about Matt Walsh anymore, by the way. The segment's over. I've been thinking about Canada for a while, but I have 2 teenage siblings who need a lot of additional support as they're getting close to the age where they would be, like, graduating high school and stuff. So I have to stay here until they are functional adults, and then we can potentially, like, pool our resources, like, in a couple years when they're both working age and, like, you know, closer to having, like, one of them is going to graduate high school pretty soon. And then, yeah, like, maybe we can all consolidate our if all of us are working, you know, instead of them being, like, dependents when they're old enough, you know, we can all get the fuck out of here. I'm looking forward to starting this stream over from the start. I love to listen to your stream while running heavy equipment. Nice, Pride Yoga. I hope that you are going to have a good time at work today. Canada, you love it here. We got problems too, but we are more progressive. You guys are only like 5 years behind the United States. Every time the United States does some fucked up shit, though. Come join me and drink the maple. Blame Canada. Voters have been punishing the GOP in recent elections. Even with gerrymandering, they're not doing as well as they would like. The tides may turn on the bigots soon. I'm not holding out for a hero to the end of the night or whatever the fuck. I'm just gonna do my best to keep doing my job, keep being productive, keep working on my personal problems and supporting my siblings and getting the fuck out of here as soon as possible. I mean, like, I have, like, a younger trans brother who I need to help him, like, update his birth certificate and stuff. And teach my teenage siblings how to drive and stuff. Like, I got my hands full for the next 2 to 3 years. BC specifically has got some subsidized top surgery, which is cool. Yeah, I am thinking I'm probably going to end up going to, like, if I go to Canada, I'll probably move to British Columbia because they have good trans healthcare, and Vancouver is, like, pretty progressive, although I don't want to live in Vancouver necessarily, but I'm maybe nearby Vancouver. Decoy Duck, are you thinking of Shrek when you're singing this song? Because that's what I'm thinking of when I'm like, I'm holding out for a hero. It's like the fairy lady, the fairy godmother lady from Shrek. West Coast, best coast. I've never been there. Please don't move to lower mainland BC. Well, I want to be relatively close to, like, Seattle still because of the people there. I might not be able to do my trip I was hoping to do. I was hoping to do a trip to Washington in, like, April, but I probably won't be able to do it now. Like, A, I don't think that I'll be able to afford it reasonably. And B, I mean, actually, that's the main problem. Like, that's the main problem, is that I just don't think that it's, like, a smart idea. I could probably afford it, but if I could spend $300 on a plane ticket and food for a week or however long I would be there, you know, that's $300 that I could just otherwise have and not spend on an unnecessary trip to Seattle. Because part of the reason why I was gunning to go there was because I had been thinking about moving there in the next couple years. But yeah, now I'm going to be stuck here for a little while longer. So it's not as necessary for me to be like, oh, I need to go visit this place I've never been to, because I don't want to just move there having never been there before. So I don't know, maybe in like November. Maybe in November this year instead of April. Maybe in November I'll be able to justify making a trip up to Washington. But we shall fucking see. I don't know, man. It's going to be even colder in November. But August is going to be too hot. I don't know. Public transit in BC is really good, by the way. I am going to be afraid of COVID for the rest of my life, and I probably am not going to be a big taking public transit type of person. I don't own a car and have no need to. I like having my car. Like, I do own my car. Like, I don't even owe any money on my car anymore. Do you have any good tips to support my FTM friend when he's feeling dysphoric? I mean, every person is different. Like, I think that them feeling dysphoric is, like, not too different from them feeling, like, shitty and depressed in general. So anything that you would do for them normally to make them feel better, I guess. Zan has COVID. I know, I saw that. I advised him to try to take it easy as much as possible. Should I just focus on listening? I mean, yeah, that can be helpful. Or, like, try to distract them, maybe. Like, do you want to watch this show that has absolutely nothing to do with gender? My rent isn't bad at $1,100 a month. Holy shit, I would not be functional with an $1,100 a month rent. Holy fucking shit, dude. That's so expensive. Yeah, I mean, that's like 800 USD. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. 100. Yeah, okay. 1,100 CA. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, it's like $817. Okay, still, that would... Listen, that's still more than what I pay. And keep in mind, I get government assistance at the moment. I think after stream, I'm going to... I think I'm going to get some ice cream or something tonight, because I'm feeling a little bit peckish. You don't want to see rent in Orlando, Florida? It's $1,400 for a one-bedroom here? Jesus Christ. Ooh, I have a cake coming tomorrow for my birthday. Ooh. I was thinking of making some custard tarts. Like, I was kind of considering teaching myself how to make custard tarts. And then maybe experimenting with a couple other kind of... maybe... Because my birthday is coming up at the end of March, and I'm thinking maybe I want to learn how to make cannolis for my birthday. I learn how to make cannolis and give myself cannoli. Maybe I should go to this one restaurant that I really, really like, but just go in like the early afternoon by myself. And because that restaurant has cannoli, I would just have to drive like an hour and a half. There's like this restaurant that I used to go to with my mom when I was younger, and it was delicious. But now that I live further away, I haven't been there for like 10 years. I don't even know if it's still open, but I kind of want to see if I could go back there and just like, maybe I should just treat myself to a lunch date all by myself in the middle of the day. My birthday's on like a Monday this year, so I could go for a lunch date in the middle of the day on a Monday and be reasonably confident that I will not get fucking COVID. Give myself cannoli sounds like a euphemism. It is hard and brown and full of cream, so they're so filling though. Like, you get to the end of your meal and you're like, I'm gonna eat 4 cannoli because they taste so good. And then you eat like 2, you get like halfway through the second cannoli and you're like, no. Yeah, I'll show you what cannoli look like. Here. Okay, this is what cannoli look like. It's like a brown, it's like a pancake, but like, so basically it's like a crepe, but like a crispy crepe that they like mold into it. It's like, it's hard and crispy and crunchy. And then you make this like really creamy, very heavy and rich stuff. And you put like the chocolate chips in it. And then you like squooge that into the middle. So it's like, this is an enormously, absurdly complicated, like this is when like getting there with desserts, like this is kind of up there in terms of stupidly difficult desserts. Yeah, splooge. You heard what I said. Dessert manicotti. Manicotti is like a type of cheese goop, right? Like cream cheese goop. Crepes are tasty too, though. It's a taco full of creme. Yes, it's true. By the way, any advice to support my gender dysphoric, female to non-binary, closeted, currently unable to transition self? Anything you can do to give yourself those small moments of happiness within yourself. Like, if you need to buy some boxers, or something, stop picking your ears. They are itchy. My ears are itchy. Why would I need to wash my hands? There's nothing like rotting or moldy or disgusting inside my ears. It's just like dead skin, which, like, guess what? You're covered in it at all times. I mean, I also don't really want to get into the, like, do you absolutely need to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom every time thing? Because I know that, like, after having hung out in Vash's community, I know that you people have very important opinions about this. Like, it like itches inside my ear. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna get up and go to the bathroom and like, get my like tweezers. Oh my god. Everybody is very upset about the idea that Vosh doesn't wash his hands when he takes his 20-second bathroom breaks. That link no work. Oh, these look really yummy. Oh, I'm hungry. I am hungry. I like washing my hands as long as I have a moisturizing soap. Yeah, it's tough when you have dry skin. I was reading a post on Reddit, I think earlier today, that was like, my girlfriend found out I only shower like once a week during the winter because I'm not like sweating or exercising or going anywhere. Like, and everybody in the comments was like, you're nasty. And I'm like, I have really, really, really dry skin and I can't shower like he was like, I shower every 2 to 3 days normally, like during the times when it's like hot and I'm sweating and stuff. And I'm like, and people in the comments were like, you know, what do you mean? Like, even like you get all sweaty and like have all these bacteria building up on your body. You don't shower every single day. I'm like, I could not ever shower every single day. Like, I would be, my skin would be just actively cracking and bleeding all over the place. Every other day is, like, fairly reasonable. That would be too much for me personally. Because, like, I really do have truly just super dry skin. I'd be a walking skin flake. Exactly. I would just be covered in flaky... Like, it's already not great. Like, I'm already, like, I can just touch my head and, like, skin flakes coming off of me. I got eczema on my hands, too. That shit's mid, yeah. Maybe I need to get some more water really fast before we continue. But I am ready to talk about another section. Did I misspell cannoli? I did misspell cannoli. I have some kind of redness on my face. I don't know if you all have ever really noticed it, but like I do just kind of always have redness on my face right here, and I'm not sure what that is. Like, is that rosacea? I don't think so. I don't know. Camoli? Oh no. Don't call it trying to have sex. Call it doing a cum huddle. Question from Knox. You got a question? Rosy cheeked, but it's not like cute. It's like irritation. I'm like 28 years old, about to be 29 next month, and I'm like, oh boy, I need to figure out fucking skincare now. That is, I should see if that restaurant is still open. Hold on, I'm gonna check. You don't get to know what it is. You don't get to know what it is. Okay. Like I just meant like I need to find out if this restaurant still exists, and it does. Come to Cactus Club? What Cactus Club? I got the red on my cheeks from tea. Did anyone else get almost like a fever? My skin gets hot sometimes for no reason. Yeah, I mean, I think that going on tea can give you, I mean, it increases your hemoglobin and it also can increase your metabolism. Like, it can increase your metabolism, which will make you run hotter. It's normal for trans women to start to feel like they get chill very easily after they've been on hormones for a while. So same thing on tea. Like, same way, opposite direction on tea. Okay, I'm gonna refill my water. Maybe take a quick bathroom break. You should also make sure you refill your drink. Refill your drink. Get yourself a little snicky snack, because we got more news. We got more news. I am not going to talk about Montana tonight. I did not do enough research and collecting my notes on that, so I'm just going to save that for like Sunday or whatever, some other time. But we have two more things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Trump versus Desantis, and then we have a feel-good story. And then we're going to chill out and, like, I don't even know if we're going to stream very long past getting those things done, but it's cool. Who versus who? Okay. Get yourself a drink. Hail hydrate. Be back momentarily. Okay. I'm back. These ads are like 5 minutes altogether. Ooh, Chinese food. Okay. I love paying to get cancer. Wait, what? What, T-Rex? What are you paying to get cancer? Yeah, Dashi, sorry. The Dix emoji is for subscribers only. So if you're on the website, chat, if you ever want to donate, I would actually recommend, if you're going to donate, get a subscription, because then you get access to all of the other emojis. Can we get a Wiggles? I would like a Wiggles. Oh my god, excuse me. The burping. Oh my god, there we go. We got another one. Perfect. Okay, cool. And we got a little Wiggles combo. Ooh, we got a little Wiggles combo. I love apple juice. Oh my god. Wow. Wow, I should get apple juice. Man, you know, I don't like to eat apples very much, but wow, I love apple juice, like, so much. My T level was 230 the day before my next dose. That might be a little bit low. I'm a cis guy, but had T levels in the 2200 range at 19. Should have used it to play more sports. Yeah. Did you start going bald at 19? Because I feel like that's so much testosterone. Call me weird, but I don't like OJ or apple juice, but I do like oranges and apples. I like orange juice. I don't drink it very often unless it's like a component of a smoothie. But I do typically use orange juice as the basis of my smoothie. It's only been like 8 weeks since starting, and this was my first checkup. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty low. Yeah, you're probably being started on a low dose, so that's good. It's appropriate for you to be leading up into it. You honestly should be checking like once a month when you're that early on, but every 2 months isn't horrible. I went bald at 23. Called it. Sorry. I feel bad for you because I know a lot of people struggle with their feelings of losing their hair, and like cis men are included. That's why hair transplants is like a really common procedure. It's a lot of places do it across the world because obviously people care a lot about their hair. I would fucking lose it if I started going bald, bro. I would be really upset. But I already have facial hair popping up, my voice is dropping, and I have things happening downstairs. You'll know that growth is actually happening downstairs when it hurts too much for you to clean yourself. You know, you got to pull back the foreskin and like clean it. There will be a time, you'll know when growth has started, when you're like, wow, this is unpleasant. Even Tate got hair plugs. Did he really? But he still shaves. It like fucking hurts. My uncle and grandfather were both bald before 30, so worried about losing my hair in transition. Yeah. It comes, I think that because the baldness genes live on the X chromosomes, it could be it's a toss-up between whether your mother's side or your father's side is where you got your hair genes from. Baldness is a badass look. I don't think it would look good on me. I really, truly, deeply do not think that baldness would look good on me. I would be pretty upset. Maybe I would get tattoos all over my scalp. Maybe that's how I would cope. Bald dragon. Yeah, man, listen. I would have a very bad time. My hair is one of the few things I like about my appearance. I'd hate to lose it. Exactly. Listen, it's not apparent right this second. I'm sure you've all been here before. Maybe there's some newbies here tonight, but if you're new to the horde, this is my hair. There's kind of a lot of it. You can't even see the bottom anymore. There, I can fit all of my hair in frame still. for now. And then, it actually looks longer this way, just because I don't normally put my hair this direction, but it kind of like just is a little bit longer this direction. But I usually do this. Skrillux, that's true. So there you go. That's when I'm talking about my glorious hair. This is what's up for discussion. Let me get this back up here because I don't want it. Thank you, James. I appreciate. Yeah, I've been doing these like goth looks lately and like dicking around with makeup. Which like, yeah, I need to finish doing these segments for tonight so that I do want to at least stay on late enough to dick around with makeup a little bit at the end. I'm going to try to put scales on my face. You know, I have these horns. I have my dragon horns, and people always think that I look like a demon, and I'm trying to make it scan as dragonish. So one of the things that we can do is do like, you know, some women do these like mermaid scales by taking like a fishnet, shirt or something and like pulling it over their face and then using that to like stencil, like they put the makeup on over the fishnet. So we might do that later tonight and see how it looks, so that the horns maybe start to look more like dragonish and not like demon horns. I need to get them put in a thing where I can just tilt the angle differently, because like it doesn't work. They like when this is how they are made to sit on my head, and it's kind of like, okay, they're a little bit like, but then if that's not that, wow, who is that, Skeletor? But if I were to be able to wear them like this, I think that would be a little bit more obviously dragony. They just aren't made to sit this way, so I need to make a thing or like pay someone to make a thing. E-D-D-D-D-D-D. And then I can have and then I can do scales maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh my god. Drag gang. Is it drag if you're NB though? I kind of feel like everything and nothing are all drag. I don't know. I don't really like thinking about drag very much, TBH, y'all. I just don't really think about it very much. I just don't want to acknowledge it for the most part. Just grab a drill gun and stick them on permanently. Exactly. Sure. Exactly. Yeah. I'll just moor them to my head permanently. Wear them the other direction to look scarier and stronger. No, but I don't like the way that looks. Like, whoa. Like bull horns. Like, hold on. How would that work? This way? Like, I've already done this week. I don't like the bullhorn look. That's not cute. It's not what I'm here for. How would that? Yeah. It's not what I'm here for. For me, I view drag as a queer fashion show, aka any fashion show. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I'm fine not thinking about it most of the time. No, I'm an Aries, y'all. I'm an Aries. I don't know anything else about my astrological sign because why would I care about that? Do the rar? Rar. Is that what you wanted? Rar. With the horns? I mean, I've only gotten $5 in donos tonight, and you want me to do stuff? You want me to dance for you? Dance, monkey, dance. I feel like we're getting into the Fans League content here. Yeah, you gotta pay for that. Rawr. Oh my gosh. Drag isn't my scene, but if fascists go after drag, I'm gonna show up to defend it. Yeah, I mean, like, I could do, like, I would go to drag show. I've been to a drag show at a bar. I would go to one now if it weren't for the fact that I don't think queer people are doing any better than the rest of society about caring about COVID. What's your take on Libras? They have goat horns, right? That's my take on Libras. Year of the Tiger. That's the Chinese zodiac, right? I thought it was Year of the Rabbit. Cancer Gang. Black and white stripes, right, on the Libras? Oh, Libra is the scales. I don't care about this at all, okay? I regret to inform you that this is just not my area. I am, I can't remember what I meant on the Chinese zodiac. Zeph is not a homestuck. Yeah, I don't know what you are talking about. Okay, I'm just going to move on and let you guys, you can just meme if you want to, and I'm going to move on with the segment. All right? That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Okay, why? Okay. And this is, okay. So I want this. Let me make sure. Okay, hold on. Shush. Okay, cool. There we go. Don't go with the schedule. Conform to chat. I want to do this stuff. Like, I want to finish talking about the stuff that's on my list and then potentially have a little bit of fun and goof off for a little bit and then get off of this stream so that I can, like, eat dinner. Tiger's blood. Okay, interesting. I sold my soul to a hussy a long time ago. Oh, no. Oh, these are getting, are you a hungry pilled food cell right now? I just think I have not been doing a very good job of eating the last couple days, and it's just caught up to me, and I'm just, wow, sometimes when you're just like, I'm hungry. Okay. There's only one true hussy. The rest were prototypes. Uh-oh. My dog heard you say the D word in the stream, and now she won't leave me alone. Angry husky. I mean, you gotta, like, have your trigger words for the dog be a little bit more specific, you know? It's like you shouldn't have the bad word for the dog shouldn't be no. You should make the bad word something like wrong so that you don't, like, give the command errantly, you know? What's up, Andes? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you hanging out for as long as you have the opportunity to, and hope that you have a good time getting your shit done tonight. Yeah. Hope you have a very productive night. It's me, I'm the hussy. Oh, gosh. All right. These silly bitches. So we've already noticed this week that Trump is starting his presidential campaign run with a video, coming out hard, targeting trans people for 4 solid minutes. Like, that was the entire thing, talking about us. And it also seems like Desantis is probably going to end up trying to run as well. And fingers crossed that they split the Republican Party, and that'll make it easier. If Biden runs as an incumbent and the Republican vote gets, like, split by these 2 different people, that bodes well for us in the presidential election. Jesus Christ, yeah, we have to start doing this kind of political analysis 2 years early. So the cute thing about Trump and DeSantis is that Trump is just, like, the man has got just, like, a huge ego, right? He just, like, he's got an enormous ego, and he does not like people competing against him. And so he's coming out swinging. Like, they've both barely started their presidential run thing going on right here, and like they're just coming out like right up. Oh man, this is some wild shit. All right, so Trump has this new he's like on this alternate social media site called Truth Social. So today is the first day I've ever been on Truth Social, I'm pretty sure. Unless the video that we watched earlier this week was from this website also, but I don't think it was. So anyway, the official account, Donald J. Trump, posted, or I guess like retweeted this basically. Functionally, it's a retweet. Retruths. Wow. Okay. So here is Ron DeSantis, grooming high school girls with alcohol as a teacher. So this is actually substantiated that this is him at like, he's like a teacher. So he's older. He's not like a super old, but he's like a young adult here. And these are like teenagers, high school girls, and he's like drinking beers with them. And then so Donald Trump retweeted this thing calling Ron DeSantis a groomer, saying, "That's not Ron, is it? He would never do such a thing." So I guess people are reading that as being sarcastic, which is how I read it. This was from 2 days ago. And I was really not expecting this to occur. Like, that was not what I expected to happen. Hold on real quick. Okay. Yeah, 2-year campaign seasons for presidential runs. Can't wait until we live in a 24/7 campaign cycle. Right. Yeah, hit the like button if you're super, super stoked about the fact that we're going to be trapped in perpetual campaign cycles the campaigns are going to begin the moment that the president gets rang into office. It's just going to be like this forever. Yay! So since Trump decided to come out swinging, calling his opposition a groomer, which, like, I don't disagree with the allegation. I don't disagree that it was creepy and bad for Ron DeSantis to be doing that. To be clear, I am not defending Ron DeSantis. It is just funny to watch these two people attacking each other because I think that they're both terrible human beings. And, we might as well watch them basically destroy the Republican Party is kind of what I hope happens, but we'll see. So, DeSantis also decided to reply to this. So the governor responds in is this the entire point of this press appearance? I am not sure, but I do know that this video that's on this news site here is, this is longer than the video that I saw on Twitter. So we are going to watch this and see, let me get my volumes right, actually.
Trump yesterday made a series of posts on Truth Social directed at you. Some were insinuating that. My question is, how would your proposed legislation against defamation address those posts that could be considered damaging?
Okay, I made it as loud as possible. We're not going to be able to hear the guy in the background very well because this is a press conference thing where he's like, there's some guy in the audience just like shouting. Okay? All right, so let's see what Ron DeSantis says in his defense on this.
Former President Trump yesterday made a series of posts on Truth Social directed at you. Some were insinuating that you.
So here's what I would say about
my question is, how would your proposed legislation against defamation address those posts that could be considered damaging?
Well, if you think when we did the defamation panel yesterday, I made the point, look, I have a platform. It's different for me because I can fight back, and people just know I face defamatory stuff every single day I've been governor. That's just the nature of it. But I have a platform to fight back. A lot of these other people that are more little, they don't necessarily have a platform to fight back. And so in terms of our reforms, I really want to empower them more so than people that occupy high positions like me. It just goes with the territory. You got to have a thick skin. It's also just practically speaking, I would not take time out of being governor to be fighting lawsuits. It's just not practical in terms of what we're doing. But I'd also just say this. I spend my time delivering results for the people of Florida and fighting against Joe Biden. That's how I spend.
I mean, he certainly spends his time stacking the board of medicine with a bunch of people who've donated to his campaigns so that he can circumvent the legislative process and make his own like law outside of that process. It's what the fascists are good at. He's really good at it. I really don't want him to win the presidency for sure. They all still call him President Trump. Well, you're supposed to. Yeah. You're supposed to. Like, President Obama is still President Obama permanently because, like, yeah. That's just tradition. Did he talk about Disney? Was there something about Disney in the news again? Okay.
My time. I don't spend my time trying to smear other Republicans. That's right.
Yeah. Like, it pulled a little holier than thou. I'm not gonna dip so low as to respond kind of bullshit. Like, he's not, like, addressing the truth of the fact that that's a photo of him. I mean, he basically just dodged that entirely. Like, I'm just not gonna even indulge this completely. Let's pretend like I don't have photographic evidence of me as a teacher drinking with underage girls. And who the fuck knows what else in that situation? Who the fuck knows what else they were doing? He's certainly not gonna... He's not gonna come out and say what anything happened. And if any of those women come out and say that something happened to them, it's gonna go the same way that it went with Kavanaugh. You know, we'll have a big fucking deposition or some shit, and it's just gonna be... The woman is gonna have to change her address. She's gonna have her character attacked, and like... DeSantis is still gonna get put into his position, whatever position it is. What does DeSantis do that make Floridians go so apeshit for him, other than the incessant trans bashing? I have no idea, Baby Squid. Like, I don't know what people think is so appealing about him, or if it's just a gerrymandered situation. Like, is Florida just as badly gerrymandered? Is it just because there are a bunch of old people with dementia who live there? Because it's, right, like Florida is supposed to be the place that you retire to. So it's got to have a bunch of people with Alzheimer's and dementia who are voting based on what they see on Fox News, right? Disney's laying 7,000 people off. Okay. I haven't even covered the fucking libraries thing yet. Have we? I don't think we've covered the DeSantis libraries thing. Oh, true. And the money. If you can afford to, quote, retire to Florida instead of just retiring where you are, you've probably got some money. Yeah, and that's going to influence your politics. I would be curious to see what the, like, difference is between, like, average or median wealth in each state. That would be interesting to look at. Drinking some water, because I need to do that. So if we don't have much more commentary on this, then we might do a little feel-good story and then dick around for a little while, you know? Okay, I'm gonna put on some chapstick. Because I've been anxious the past week, and I've been chewing a lot on my lip, and it's not a great time. Delicious. Okay. So we will do a little feel-good story. This is probably not going to be a segment on the channel. Like, I'm not gonna sit up straight and tall and deliver this segment in that way. Because I've just decided I don't want to. Violet, I'm really excited to, if you're still here, I'm really excited to play WoW. Like, I'm really excited to do that later. I gotta figure out if I even have that shit installed on this computer anymore and make sure to update it. Oh, man. Where was this? Oh, okay, cool. Playing WoW as we speak. Yeah. I am very much looking... I did play recently, again. Like, I said before, like, I quit really in Pandaria, but I did go back more recently and play by myself a little bit. I unlocked some of the races on the Horde side, and I went ahead and did, like, the garrison stuff with my mage. It's really... It just feels weird to play it a little bit, but I like it. I think Shadowlands was out when I played before, but because Shadowlands was the one that they wanted you to spend money on, like, it, you know, if you go like 10 years without playing WoW, and then you come back to it, they just give you like 3 expansions for free. However many, I don't know how many there were. They just give you several expansions for free because they're like, oh, well, you're clearly not about to drop $150 on this game right now. Oh my god, I played in the original beta and then not again until BFA. Holy shit. Yeah, every expansion up to the last one. All the expansions besides Dragonflight are included with the sub now. Cool. So I get Shadowlands. I didn't have that the last time I played. Cool. Neat. Okay. So yeah, this is just a little nice, feel-good, cute thing. India's first transgender parents-to-be are nervous but equally excited to welcome their baby by March. So I've seen trans couples before have babies, but this is the first trans couple in India to have had a baby. Zia, who is a dance teacher, says, trans people are a society-fearing community, and there may be many trans men or women who wish to become parents like us, but they do not have the courage to step ahead, fearing humiliation and rejection. Speaking about their decision to go for conception rather than adoption, Zia says, initially, we thought of going for adoption, but when we tried to learn details of the process, we knew about the legal complexities involved. Secondly, even if we adopt a baby, when he or she grows up, we would have to tell him that we are not his biological parents, and then we cannot predict what the child's response would be. Hence, the couple decided to conceive. Though I was not a woman by birth or by body, I had the feminine dream inside me to hear a baby calling me mother. It has been 3 years since we are together. Like my dream of becoming a mother, he, Zahad, has a dream of becoming a father, and today, a life of 8 months is moving in his belly with his full consent. As far as we know, India's first trans man pregnancy. Zia had announced the good news on her Instagram handle. Zahad, 23, was initially assigned female at birth, but then later realized his machismo, how the fuck do you say that word, during his adolescence. Zia, age 21, on the other hand, was assigned male and discovered feminine qualities within herself at an early age. This is like, I think this is like translated from Indian, or like this is someone who's English second language. It's a little bit clumsy. Despite facing resistance from their families and society's stereotypes, both individuals embarked on a journey of gender transition. They eventually met each other, fell in love, and then decided to have a baby. They paused their gender transition process midway after finding out that Zahad could still conceive. 3 years of their partnership, the couple continues to defy societal norms together. So that's cool. Are there more pictures? I want to see pictures of these cuties. These are some good pictures. Seeing them just a little bit bigger. I think are these different people? Or is this their just... Oh, wait. Is this a more recent article? Wait. So this one's from February 4. This one is from February 8. Did they have the baby? Breaking news. Yeah, I think that this is the same. Yeah. Yeah, so Zahad gave birth via cesarean. Yeah, the birth was delivered via cesarean section, and both the baby and delivering parent are reported to be in good health. Zahad is reportedly the first trans male in India to give birth. That's fucking cool. So they said that they're keeping the gender of the baby private, which is totally fucking cool. And they're doing good. A healthy baby is born, not a baby girl or baby boy. After all, who are we to assume their gender? Let them grow and explore their identity. That's fucking cool. Because this other post said that they, this other thing said that, like, they were 8 months along or so. They were supposed to welcome their new baby in March. So I guess it was like a couple weeks early. But baby and parent are healthy, so that's good. Probably not the first. Yeah, the first that we know about. Come on, show his nipples, stand for something, photo shoot. Wait. He did. You can see... Where the fuck is it? You can see his nipple right here. That's a nipple. That's a nip. But yeah, conservatives will look at this think, but how is Babby formed? And then when you explain it to them, then they'll be like, oh, that's a woman. You know? They're pretty stupid like that. They're pretty obnoxious in that way. It is kind of in shadow and not obvious. But yes, there are nip. Okay, so I'm done with news tonight. And we're just going to kind of chill for a little while longer and, like, chit-chat a little bit. And I'm going to, like, mess around with putting some scale-looking makeup on my face. So if you want to hang out for that, be welcome to. If you were only here for serious political conversation, I bid you good night. Hit the like button before you go. Hit the like button if you're going to hang out for longer. We're not going to go for much longer, but probably at least another 20 minutes. So we're just going to dick around and have some fun convo. Where am I? Okay, so this is one thing that I want. Why do stupid people get to run society? Because that's one of the bad things about democracy is that it's a popularity contest. And if stupid people like stupid people, then they will elect them. And then those are the people making our decisions. I am here for serious shit, but you've grown on me, so I'll chill. Well, thank you. I think people like that my streams are a little bit slower, like, and that we don't often do, like, arguments and combative bullshit, you know? Okay. So, So I have this thing, it's like a headband, right? And it's just because, like, it's the only thing that I have fishnet-wise that I don't mind, like, getting a bunch of makeup on and then having to fucking wash it. Because other stuff, I don't like having to wash my, my fishnet shirts and stuff very often because they will fall apart. Where? Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm gonna put my mirror, like, here by my, well, maybe I don't want to do that. And then you can see all the shit on my desk. You'll just put this way. Ah, there we go. Yeah, now you can't see anything. Haha. So you kind of like do something like this, and I'm trying to do this like at an angle so that the scales are at a bit of an angle. Although, wait, no, I'm going to do this second. The first thing I'm going to do, because I did do that already, where I just put like blackish scales on my face. So, but I realized what you need to do is you need there to be a highlight color underneath. So yeah, congrats, Davey. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically like put green on my face as a base in the areas where I've decided that I want the scales to be. And then I will go over it. I'll put the fishnet on and then go over it with like the charcoal color or whatever. Like I went a little bit too dark last time, I think. But yeah, so I'll try like a slightly lighter one. But I'm going to start with like a green as my base. I guess I'll use this like sparkly green and just kind of put that on. I have this giant makeup thing, like this giant eyeshadow thing, so I'm sorry. It's kind of like I have to hold it at a weird angle to the side. So I'm just going to like put this as like the base color. Just a whole shit ton of this green if I can. I probably should have primed my face first, but you know, fuck it. So all this is going to do is basically just make it so that it looks a little bit less like a lattice work of like fishnet on my face and looks maybe a more like there's texture underneath it. Yeah, we'll climb it up here a little bit. I'm not like a makeup person, so I'm kind of just making it up as I go. But this is like my idea for what I think it should be like. Maybe I'll only start with this one side so that I don't have to be here all night. Because I would do like this, and then I would do this next, and then maybe like up here a little bit. Serious question. Do y'all think it's better to dive headfirst into transitioning or take your time? I mean, whatever is at your comfort level. Like, there are going to be some people who are like, I know for sure that I really want to transition to be male completely, as physically like complete as possible as a male, and nothing else is going to satisfy this urge for me. And that's fine. Like, some people are like, yeah, I'm going to get top surgery within 6 months of starting hormones. Like, that's what I need to do. And yeah, like, that's just what you need sometimes. I am a person who is a little bit more like apprehensive, and like, I tend to take longer, and I'm a lot more like, I just spend a lot more time being thoughtful and critical about it. And also, like, I'm non-binary, so my needs are not the same. Like, if I thought for a long time I wanted top surgery, like, I finally realized that was mostly a social dysphoria problem, and that when it comes to my actual internal sense of self and everything, like, I just don't really have the problem with my body where I need to have my boobs removed. That's a society problem. That's not a me problem. That's a society problem, and I'm not going to change my body to make society more comfortable with my gender or whatever. Like, that's not what I'm interested in doing. So I personally took a lot of time to think about it, because I had a lot of more complicated questions to ask myself. Now, yeah, if you're like, I'm FTM and I know for sure, like, I want to go stealth. Like, if that's what you're like, I know for sure I want to go stealth. Oh, that's looking very interesting. That's looking very shiny. Okay, cool. Yeah, some people are like, I know, like, I must have bottom surgery, and I know for sure I need that. Some people are, yeah, I'm going with my GRS first. Some people get FFS first. I know for sure I want top surgery and I'm non-binary. I'm doing it for my comfort. Yeah, I realized that I was going to not need... Is this too... It was like during COVID when I didn't need to go anywhere. I was like, oh, I don't want top surgery for sure. Like I had been thinking about it for a long time. And finally I was just like, oh, I'm going to just stop thinking about this now. Because I know that I don't want it. If anything, like, I almost want to get a BA, but I'm probably not going to. I don't know. Just like, I probably won't do that. Okay, I think that we're going to try this at this kind of angle. I think I'll have to hold it. Like, pull it down a little bit. It's got like a crinkle right there. Yeah, I'll have to just hold it. Okay. So I decided I wanted to go with a little bit lighter gray than last time. So I'll try this one down here. Okay. Let me pull this and do a little bit of this. I'm curious to see how this will turn out, because I haven't tried it this way before. I mean, like, so what I did before was I just put the mask like across my face. And so the scales, first of all, were kind of like, they were straight across instead of at this angle. I'm trying to get them to be at this angle. And I think I put on too much. Like, I put on too much of the gray. I put on too much of the eyeshadow before. So I'll maybe try to be a little bit more chill with it this time. I'm gonna take a risk and not put more on beyond that, I think. Maybe just a little over here. Okay. We're just gonna see how that went. Okay, I mean, that's kind of cool. Like, I don't know. Hold on, let me get closer to the camera and stuff. Put stuff down here. Okay. So. That's just an idea. Like, it's just a concept. Like, I think it looks pretty cool. Maybe I would, not fill in this. Maybe I would make this a little bit more of like not the entire side of my cheek. Maybe come out onto the collarbone, or sorry, onto the cheekbone a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it's cool, right? And then, let's try this. Oh my God, please. Someone get me a Band-Aid because you look sharp. Thank you. Okay, so then if this is on here, you know? That's kind of cool. Maybe I want to try this really quick. Yeah. That's kind of cool. Like reinforcing the green undertone. Okay, hold on. Literally reptilian, humanoid, dragon creatures. Wait, what are you talking about? You should try making a Drakthir when you play WoW. Yeah, is that the new that's the new race in the new expansion. It looks cool. Yeah, I'm glad that we think that it looks cool. I'm psyched about it. I like it. This is my first time trying it exactly this way. You know, with the green undertone. So I could do a different color undertone as well. I guess it kind of depends on what my side color is over here. Like, I think that the side color over here does affect how the side of my face is going to look. But it definitely looks nice having, like, a highlight color under there at least. Like a little bit of shiny highlight. Anyway, I'm a big fucking dork, is what we're learning gradually. And it doesn't even take that long. Like, I could do that before stream and it wouldn't even take that long. I'm just going to become a complete psychopath is what's going to happen here. It's the new race/class, but you don't need to own Dragonflight to do the starting zone and make one IARC. Just means you can't do the Dragonflight area itself. Yeah, like the new max level area is off limits still. Lux joining the lizard people. I am a dragon. Okay, I guess I can't do green undertone because then it's going to look like lizard. What color undertone should I do, though? I guess I could just make it like a highlight. Like, I could just do like a silvery gray highlight color, right? Maybe I'll try that on the other side really quick and we can compare. Since it doesn't take very long and it's at the end of stream here. Gold undertone. Do we think gold would... Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Salander, for the $5 dono. They say, love the scales. Great stream tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Can my computer work, please? Why are you so slow? Okay, stop being so difficult with me tonight. Thank you. Jeez, Jiminy Christmas. Oh my God, excuse me. Silver might work better. Well, no, I meant like I want to get rid of the green. Black or red undertones say dragon more to me. Like, so I have dark gray black as the scales color, and then the color underneath that right now is a green. Like, I put green down first, right? As it'll show in between the lines. I don't really have a great purple here. I do have purple, but it's not great. But I was just kind of thinking of taking color out of the equation entirely. I don't know, maybe I should try purple and see how that looks. Green looks good. Yeah, but it looks like a lizard. Like, I don't want it to look like a lizard. I want it to look like a dragon. Spyro the Lux. I don't want it. No, I'm not doing Spyro. Okay, you know what? You've convinced me. I'm just going to do like a light gray or like a white highlight color. Just to give it a little something something, but no color underneath. I say gold. I just don't think that gold is going to show up on my... I have like yellowish skin, right? Lux, are you a furry or I guess a scaly? Yeah, basically. Basically, if you are to ask me like, Lux, are you a furry? Are you a Therian? Are you otherkin? Are you dragon xenogender? I'm going to say yes to all of the above because I just don't see a distinction between those things. Good night, Baphomet. Enjoy. If you combine it with other features like the horns, the green would be fine. Wait, what are you going to say before you go? What is a Therian? Don't worry about it. Is a dragon furry a scale Sona? Yeah, unless the dragon that you have is a fur-covered dragon. I'm just saying, like, if someone asks me if I am a Therian, I'm just gonna be like, sure. Like, I don't really care, like, what you think. I have a, like, yes, I have a dragon. I'm a furry, or I don't care, you know? Something smuggy? Uh-oh. But yes, I guess Therian does usually mean something fairly specific, and it doesn't typically apply to fantasy critters like dragons. So, okay, maybe... Okay, but is this... We still have green in here? Get out of here. I don't want to get a third brush out. Please just, let's get the green out of here, okay? I just don't have a really good vibrant purple. I have like a dark purple, but I want this to be a bright color, and so I can't really do purple on this. The queer urge to dress up as a non-human humanoid thingy, true. Yeah, I'm just saying that I don't care to tell people that there is a distinction. Yeah, good night, Baphomet. Isn't a Therian that small electric instrument? Yeah, the, I think that he was joking. You're too into chat now. I will be logging off soon anyway, so don't upset yourself too much about staying up too late. I think I'm just gonna try like this white and see if that does it for me. Okay. Oh wait, what the fuck did I do with my mirror? Here we go. Okay. You make a cute reptilian. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're just gonna try a little bit of a like white silvery highlight color. It's probably not gonna show up super well because it's fucking white, but I bought like cheap Amazon makeup, right? It's not like this is the kind of stuff that is actually color fast and like has good coverage, you know what I mean? What are some good brands of makeup that are not like destroying everything expensive, you know? Have you tried making it look like you're coming out of 7 Dragon Balls so you look like a Shenron style dragon? I think of myself as more of a Western dragon than a Shenron like dragon. No shade on my boy Shenron, but that's just not how I see myself. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to show up very much at all. But we'll see. Drag gun. I don't do that tongue thing. True. I do that tongue thing, but only if you ask nicely. Just like me and my newfound celibacy making sex jokes. Like I'm doing anything. Kruva, holy shit. Thank you so much for the gifted tier 1 subs. 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Was Red already suggested? That's my idea of the quintessential dragon. Also Alex Straza. Great stream. Make number go up. Brr. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, does Alex Straza, she is kind of like reddish orangish colored. Yeah, I love her though. I love her horns and she's super hot. Yeah. Okay, can I do this? Hell yeah. Number go up. Brr. Okay. Maybe focusing on kidnapping queer fair maidens. Why queer maidens? Why is that what I read? Upper go numb. The tongue thing costs extra. My prices are negotiable. Yeah. The tongue thing, you gotta pay extra for that. Getting to that age where I'm like, oh, I have lines under my eyeballs. Like, right here, there's some definite lines under my eyeballs. And oh, I have so much silver in my hair right now, too. That's literally why I've stopped dyeing my hair, because I want the white and silver in my hair to be more apparent. Do I have a red that works for this? I just don't have a red that's like got shimmeriness to it, which is what I want. Like this, you know how this is kind of reflective? It's got like these highlights. I was hoping to do that on this side as well. It's just not coming through very well. And like of this on this palette, I have several reds, but none of them have that shimmery highlight thing going on. Which is a bummer. This palette has a lot of options, but like not... Would you get your tongue split like Demon Mama? I've thought about it a little bit, Icalo. I just think that I don't want to deal with the reality of having a split tongue all the time. Like, I'm used to my tongue being the way that it is. It's such a deeply weird and intimate part of your body to change. Like, I really feel like, you know, it's a big deal to change your genitals, right? But it's such a big deal to change something about your face or like your teeth or your inside your... Can you mix a red and silver to create a shimmery color? I guess I could potentially like put the red down first and then put this like just white shimmery color over top of it and see if that would work. Potentially. I'm not totally sure though. I don't want to like cross-contaminate with a white though too much. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't think this is going to turn up very well. At least not with like starting with some kind of powder. So we're just gonna put that to rest for now. You should put makeup on your Amazon wishlist. I think that there is makeup on one of my Amazon wishlists. If you are looking at my wishlist, there are several on the sidebar that are like connected wishlists. And one of them is called Femboy Hour. And there's all kinds of clothes and makeup and stuff on there if you want to contribute to me having a cool goth look on the show and on my Fansly photos. And yeah, there's like eyeliner and stuff on that list right now. And there's also jewelry, like if you want to have like cool jewelry and earrings and stuff in the photos. Copper? Yeah, I guess maybe. I'll check into it. But yeah, I don't know what are the good brands to put on the wish list either. So I kind of just like have some random fucking makeup on the wish list. But yeah, feel free to check it out if you want to. Yummy. Queer maidens work too, whatever you're into at the moment. Yeah. Only queer maidens. Like, only virgin queer girls. I guess. Hail hydrate. Cheers. I'll cheers to that. I'm being so good with like I'm not drinking alcohol right now, and I have been off nicotine for several weeks, and I think that when you quit those other substances, it's okay for you to indulge in some sugar as long as it's okay for your health to do that. Like, in the sense that, like, oh, obviously if you're diabetic, please don't make decisions that are going to kill you. But, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll get some sweets. This is, it's acceptable for me to indulge my sweet tooth a little bit here. If I'm giving up other things that are addictive, I will indulge a little bit in, like, the one thing that I'm still allowing myself to have. Delicious, good food. So, as you can tell, we're getting to the part of stream where I'm thinking and talking about food, which means that I am hungry and I am ready to go do something else. So yeah, I think I might make some chicken breast for myself tonight. That sounds delicious. Delicious, yummy chicken breast. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I have enjoyed experimenting with this makeup stuff. If you all have any recommendations for brands of like eyeshadow and stuff, that you want to drop in the stream recommendations or something in the Discord server. Wow, the hiccups are here now. So it's a good thing that I'm getting out of here. I appreciate y'all. I hope that you have a wonderful night. I will be seeing you all on Sunday, as far as I know. I don't think anything is going to come up between now and then, so I'll be talking to you on Sunday. Be good until then. Don't get in trouble. If you're going to misbehave, at least don't get caught. All right?